We the best, no contest. We the best. There ain't no one like, cause of you dumb or you crazy. There's no way, G. Me and my clique, we handling biz while you and your clique just act fugazi. You couldn't persuade me to give a damn, and this don't faze me. I got my Xbox, she can't play me. Money in a text box, I get paid. We the best. We the best, no contest. We the best. We the best, no contest. We the best. We the best. There ain't no rest. For the wicked I'm bad and I'm blessed. Put it to the test. For the rest there ain't no contest. So what's next? Got me leveling up, I'm obsessed. I bring the fire like I'm possessed. My personnel and my clique is the best. There ain't no contest. There ain't no one like, cause of you dumb or you crazy. There's no way, G. Me and my clique, we handling biz while you and your clique just act fugazi. You couldn't persuade me to give a damn, and this don't faze me. I got my Xbox, she can't play me. Money in a text box, I get paid. We the best. We the best, best. We the best, best. No contest. My clique is the best. We the best. We the best, best. We the best, best. No contest. My clique is the best. We the best. We the best, best. We the best, best. No contest. My clique is the best. We the best. We the best, best. We the best, best. No contest. My clique is the best. We the best, best. No contest. We the best, no contest. We the best, best. No contest. We the best, best.
You know I'm killing it. They're hurt, I'm the one feeling it. Now they're feeling it. My
enemies, fake mine, just stealing it. Slipping on the source and you're messing with the boss.
No one's gonna be sorry for your loss.
Gallopers,
Scheming till your
you
lies,
say you won't cry.
but I guarantee you will.
When the bullet from a gun
Fucking penetrates your eye.
Phil Spencer is the sniper, laughing as you die.
Fake gaming, wannabe gamer, pretend gamer, think you got comedic skills when your comedy is a little bit lacking status. But still, so until you motherfuckers come at me with some shit, talking about some shit, understand that I got more games than you.
Holding the line until the target's aligned.
These pussies are just fully clapped, the content is so benign. Set fire to the whole stable.
Police on the round table, wearing shoes with no label.
Inbred pig has got no hair on their head. The cost of the lies that they spread in the wake of Xbox.
Spending billions, not just little millies, like an Aaron, their Achilles, the swords were but like 1,000 chilies.
Consolidation is causing elation,
Accepting the PlayStation Nation.
force rectal
Irrigation of these bitches, busting all the stitches. You don't have the riches, leave these paupers in the fucking ditches.
Celebrate, we're gonna have a party.
Dance on the corpse of Colin Moriarty.
He's
Shook off the Saudis, Habibis get rowdy.
Circumcise the bitch so we can all scream
Howdy!
When you make that kind of content, that very adversarial, you're not one of the weird like gremlins making fucking 20-minute videos about me. That alienates and isolates you from people and burns bridges.
Pour one out for the FTC and your MBGs and all my enemies. My name is Septic, yes, I'm a disease, and you're the one infected. Your leader has now been selected.
When you're authentic, that's why your product is successful.
When you're authentic, that's why your product is successful. When you're authentic, that's why your product is successful. When you're authentic, that's why your product is successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. I think we are live. I don't know where my guest is. He's trying to figure out what he's doing. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So, Bruvian, how can you not use Discord, bruv? How can you not use Discord, bruv? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Septic Source Live. I did lie to you. So, Bruvian's here, but for some reason, he doesn't know how to freaking work Discord. So he's messaging me right now, talking about what he's gonna do. Sir Bruvian, you're stressing me out. He says he's got no options to join the freaking. What's he going on? So Bruvian's trying to get into the Discord. He says he can only see. It looks like he's on his mobile, bruv. It doesn't even make any sense, chat. But we're gonna get him in here. We'll sort it out. How is everybody doing? We got tech issues already. I know he had a half an hour late, and now he can't even join the freaking server. He's in the server. Just join his missus. Can you help him out here? He's messaging me. He goes, I'm only getting this option. Just go on the server. On the server itself, Bruvian. If you could see the shit I'm dealing with. Look, let me drag it. Let me drag it so you can see what I'm dealing with, bruv. Oh shit, what have I done? Look, chat. We need to. Oh my god, what happened here? Now, and I'm messing up. Oh shit, we got gaming with passion with a PLN 25. I think that's Polish mayonnaise. This is Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak to you, my bro. I hope you're having a great one, man. I hope you're having a wicked one. Ramadan was the reason why I missed out last week. It was the first day of Ramadan, and it's a bit. It takes its toll. It takes its toll. The first one, but yeah, we Ramadan Mubarak to all the peeps celebrating. We're 1 week in, 3 weeks to go. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Shout out to 100 people viewing here in the chat already. Fonz, how you doing, Fonz? Can you teach Sir Bruvian how to use the things? And yeah, Danny Passion Official, good to see you. Another Passion in the chat. Hassan Bajwa, Ramadan Mubarak, Saleh. Gregor, Gaz with his 12 screens, yep. And I'm trying to get guest with just one screen to freaking join. Brevin is still using Windows 95. Oi, Bruvian, what are you doing? Is you joined the server? Let me show you. Yeah, let me show you, bruv. Let me show you. I'm gonna quickly, because I've got one screen that's on the OLED. Yeah, dragging that to a tiny PC monitor screen here. There's some memes. Here we go, Bruvian. This is a live tutorial. You're watching it. You're telling me it's gonna be okay? Is it? Is it gonna be okay? Ah, right. Here, Bruvian. Bruvian blood. There. Septic source folder. Septic source server. And this is free marketing for. What is going on? Bruv, what is happening? What? Are we live now? Bruv, I don't even know what's going on. Oh, we're live. We're live. Bro, my screen's just shut down. My stream is fasting as well. Can you guys hear me, by the way? Is the voice working? I can't even hear my shit. But can you guys hear it? You're live? You can hear me? You can hear me? Gaz gonna have to carry Bruvian physically. Yes, it is. Bruvian. You're stressing me out, bruv. Just join the server, bruv. I've never had a guest can't freaking figure out how to freaking. What are you doing, Bruvian? Look at this. Look at this. Here we go. Here we go. Bruvian, what are you? What is this? What is this screen, bruv? Join here. The server that you joined when you messaged. Go there, bruv, and join the freaking waiting streaming channel, lad. Just join there, and you're done, bruv. You'll just click here, bruv. The chat. The things that I have to deal with, bruv. Just click the freaking thing, bruv. You have to join this. Click the server. Oh, what is he doing? It's gonna be okay. What are you doing? What is this? What is this? Click the server and join. Bruvian, if you can't figure out, we'll have to figure something out. Discord is for casuals, Bruvian. This is why you're not allowed to move to PC. What's up, Huggy Chetty? Oh man, Huggy, good to see you, man. I hope you're well, bro. Quick resume can't save bruv today. What happened? Oh, your daddy Kazana getting messy there, bruv. Messy. Bro, I don't know how to explain it to you, bruv. I'm giving you visual representation, lad. Just join. You were literally messaging in the group before, bruv. You've seen him join other podcasts? Oh, then what the frick is going on, lad? You're there. I don't know what to do with that chat. Oh, there he is. There he is. He finally figured it out. Oh my God, Bruvian. Are you feeling all right, bruv? You just messed me up for a good freaking 20 minutes. Don't come to PC. I know you moved to Xbox. Don't come to PC. What? Join the server. I'm not asking for much. What do you want from it? What were you doing? Can I find out for scientific reasons what you were struggling with there?
To Candice, and I was like, what does he mean? And she was like, it's right there, join chat. And I was like, oh yeah, now I see. Look, man, that's just on brand for me, bro. That's
this is why I went to Xbox, yeah.
How I navigate life doing that shit.
I'm just so grateful that you're here. Finally, we made it. We made it happen. You figured it out, and in future, it'll work fine. How are you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm good. I had to just rush my tea to get on here, man. So if I start burping and belching, it's your fault. But I'm good, man. How are you doing? Good camera, bro. You look fucking sexy over there, man.
Listen. You're on Xbox side now. You need to invest in like some like lighting and all sorts, bruv. You're bigger than me now. You need to freaking go ahead and invest in some sauce. You don't.
I don't do that. I don't need to do that. I
You'll
mean,
do
come
it.
on, bro.
You'll do it.
Best. Simple is best.
It's true. It's true. It's true. I love the fancy stuff. Oh yeah, but yeah. Mrs. Bruv has joined the membership here to show support for Bruvian. Yeah. Thank you, Mrs. Bruv.
Blame. It's Xbox. He's the one to blame, bro. I would have still been playing my PS5 every day.
If it wasn't
and saying how natural it was if it wasn't for Mrs. Bruv.
Mrs. Bruv, she's the reason you went to Xbox.
Yeah, she bought me the Xbox.
I didn't know that. Oh wow! So she's the reason you saw the light, the game changer.
Gas? Like, she was the reason.
Oh, damn! That's really amazing.
Yeah, she bought it for me as like a surprise, and I was like, oh, well, I'll probably never even use this thing. What the hell is it? But okay, I'll have it, I guess. And then that was it. That's where the first video came from. I made the video just simply because she bought me the Xbox. And look, I've discovered something, right? Yeah. I discovered that I was actually never a fanboy, because a fanboy wouldn't have been able to see that the Xbox was a good system. So what happened was I was playing it and I was like, yo, you know what? I think I'm wrong in some of the shit I've been saying, because it's not my fault, right? Because Microsoft don't market their shit. So I had no idea. So I didn't really know, right? I always just thought, this is what I expected of Game Pass. I expected Game Pass to be just first party shit like Starfield, Halo, Gears, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe a few old third party games, right? I thought it was going to be like PS Plus, but with the Xbox. I had no idea how vast it was, how deep the library was, and how many third party games there actually are there. So when I started scrolling through this thing, I was like, yo, hang on. The PlayStation... And look, I just want to throw this out there, right? I'm a bigger PlayStation fan than probably anyone watching this show. Right? So all these people screaming grifter, blah, blah, blah. I've been a PlayStation fan since 1994. So I've more passion for PlayStation than anyone who's probably screaming Team PlayStation, right? But that didn't stop me when I was on the X thinking, you know what, man? Shit, I was wrong about this stuff. Because I saw Game Pass and I was like, yo, as like an older guy, like this value is nuts. Like I'm saving a ton of money on Game Pass, bro. And my system came with 2 years free as well.
Is it?
So,
2 years free Game Pass?
Free it came with, so I'm not even paying for anything, man. This is like, 2 years free. And then I just thought, you know what? I can't even downplay this. Like, the Game Pass is one thing, but then when I started playing games on it, and I noticed a quick resume, I didn't even know what quick resume was. I always thought quick resume was rest mode. That's what I thought it was.
That's what Reforge thought it was. He still thinks it is.
I just thought it was this different name. Do you know what I mean? I thought, oh, they're quick resuming. Well, yeah, rest mode, quick resume. But then when it was like, look, you don't understand the quality of life feature that is until you use it, man. Until like you've got like 6 games, and you can just, I was like, yo, hang on a minute. And that was it. I just realized quite quickly that, look, this is a good gaming system, man. Like, yeah, it doesn't have the exclusives, right? But when you've played all the exclusives on offer by Sony, it's good to have the Series X, because the only reason I'd have to use a PlayStation now is if like Ghost of Yotai hits or some other PlayStation game lands. That's it.
So, yeah, it's funny that you say that. There are a few things there to touch upon. First of all, Xbox's atrocious marketing regarding, multiple things. First of all, how good Game Pass is. Most people still don't know what Game Pass is. They assume, like you assumed, it was just a PlayStation Plus equivalent, but it's not. It's a lot more than that, especially now with a lot of the games that, it's your rise to... meteoric rise to fame in this in what we call the what's it called, there's a term for it that we use here, what's it called? I forgot what it's called, not the stables, but it's the crump side, which is like this hardcore dedicated console or any kind of platform fan base talking core gaming, and then in that becomes a lot of fanboying arguments and all of that stuff. The crump side, in that crump side, you had a massive rise, and I think what surprised a lot of people was the timing of it, because it was a PlayStation guy. You were how you were brought into my attention and to a lot of people's attention at a time where Xbox was struggling in the narrative. Well, has been struggling in the narrative regarding the console wars, which it has lost by bringing games out to PlayStation. You came out at a time at the peak of that, and just said, "Hey, I'm a PlayStation guy, and I'm moving to Xbox," and everyone was surprised at the timing of it. It was like, huh?
But I didn't even know. I didn't know about any of this stuff. Like, I wasn't know enough to know about this doom and gloom about Xbox at the time. My perspective was merely from just someone playing the Series X who'd never played it before, and my expectations of it compared to what I got. That's the thing. I didn't. It just happened to be perfect timing, because that I expected that video to get like no attention at all. And it was when Kids Move did a video on it, and he was talking about the timing of it like you just did, and I had no idea there was all this doom and gloom about it at the time. So that was just a perfect storm, because then the channel just started exploding.
Yeah, no. What happened was then Phil Spencer reached out to you multiple times, talking to you about different things as well.
I blanked the guy. I didn't even know who he was. I just got to admit, I didn't even know who he was, because I was getting messages from so many people, because I put my gamer tag out there publicly. Literally the only reason I did that was because I had no one on Xbox, and I thought I'll put it out there, maybe I'll meet a few people to game with, whatever. But then obviously so many people saw the video. And yeah, I had a message just sat there for 2 weeks, which I didn't respond to, from Phil. And then when I realized who it was, I was like, oh my God. My response to Phil was so like, I did respond to it eventually, but it was when I was just trying to respond to people in my DMs. So it was a really lazy like message I sent back to him. And I was like, when I found out, I was like, oh, as if I've just messaged Phil that.
Yeah, no, but it's good. It's quite natural. I think Mrs. Bruv reached out when you had the peak of your little ascension, shall we say. We had some guests on, and there were some people doubting. They keep saying the word grifting, and I had your back. I'm like,
I never even heard that word, Bob, until all this. I was like, what does that even mean? What is this? I've never heard of it, but I find it very funny.
I mean, it was obvious to me, like, yeah, this guy seems pretty legit, and he's excited, and now he's embracing the Xbox community, which has embraced you really well. The community, I think.
Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? It's grifting to sort of, cater to your audience. And then, I mean, why wouldn't I make content for my audience? Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know. I find grifting a funny term, because if you're saying, well, anyone who makes content for views is grifting, then every single YouTuber to ever exist is a grifter, right?
That's a very good point.
That's why we're doing this podcast now. That's why you will post videos. That's why I post videos. To my knowledge, grifting is saying something that you don't really believe in order to, which I would love to hear how that applies to me, because how could I have known, by the way, that video was going to, you can't predict video was doing well on YouTube. That's not something there's no way I could have predicted dropping a video with no editing, just me, just this fat, bald, old fuck, right, talking about Xbox was going to get as many views as it did. Do you know what I mean? So who wouldn't, on the back of that, start creating more content? And it's funny because people say, oh, I'm hating on PlayStation, but like that quick resume video, guys, that wasn't PlayStation hate. That was just a demonstration. It's not my fault if the demonstration made the PlayStation look bad because it crashed halfway through. That's not hate, bro.
Absolutely. But it's the fact that the demonstration alone, it's ironic we're talking about grifting. Let me tell you who a grifter really is, and that's Reforge Gaming, because he convinced himself he's not a grifter, but the fact that he got absolutely triggered by your demonstration of quick resume speaks volumes to me, and you absolutely momentously clapped him back. So that Jimmy Neutron was back signing contracts with Nickelodeon after that. We're explaining the difference between what quick resume is and the suspend mode in PlayStation. It's like,
but I had to, because I feel like I didn't know what the hell it was. And if I would have known what it was, I might have taken a look at Xbox a lot sooner. But I didn't. And I know that most people don't know what it is. Yeah. And I was like, how are they not heavily marketing that as a feature? Because that is the most next generation feature of the next generation
For
consoles.
me as well, like if someone says, what's the feature this gen? I says quick resume, which is I'm on PC now, and I sorely miss that feature.
It's nuts. And so I was like, you know what? And then I was looking around some of the Xbox creators, right? Like On Point for Gamers and people I know who have PlayStations and people who have, and they have Xboxes as well. And I noticed no one had done that video. And I was like, why is no one showing this? Even the Xbox guys aren't showing this. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to come on and just do a video hyping it up. I'll just show it. I'll demonstrate it. Then no one can say anything.
Exactly. And they couldn't because, and I've done similar videos like that. I know exactly where you're coming from because the same thing had switched. So when with the PS4 gen, I was telling everyone to get the PS4 because the Xbox One was atrocious. But when the consoles came out, the Xbox One had some really cool features. Like the snap feature was quite weird, and I did a little thing with the Kinect as well. I did a whole kind of video demonstration trying to show people, hey, look how cool it is that it's signing in. My mates just come in and it signed him in and stuff like that. So when you did that video, I could see you're genuinely trying to explain the features of this console. And just by you have to, and I think you've swiftly discovered this, that even speaking positively of Xbox will have a target painted on your back, which is, and being a former PlayStation main, going to Xbox is sacrilege to the PlayStation guys. One thing you'll discover this: PlayStation guys are so intolerant to any divergent thinking. Any divergent thinking. If you don't,
I know.
If you don't beg or scream, or you literally you need like Hiroki Totoki and Herman Hulst's hand up your rectum and then be a ventriloquist, like literally be their dummy and say it.
What sort of mentality is that though? Like,
that's what defines PlayStation guys. They will celebrate sales like it's their own sales, and they're not even shareholders.
I've been a PlayStation main my whole life.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even, the thing is, as a fan, I think a fan, you want to hold them up and be accountable. As a fan, you need to be able to recognise when something is better.
Thank you.
How else will they get feedback to change? You can't just hype up everything they do. And look, man, I like PlayStation exclusives as much as the next guy. I think the perspective I had is because I've played them all, going to Series X, everything was fresh and new.
Yeah.
But the system itself, though, man, to me, like, felt much more next generation. That's all it was. And I would switch it. Look, I'm not now a dedicated, hardcore Xbox fanatic, right? If the PS6 came out and it was the better system, I'd main the PS6.
Okay,
Do you know what I mean?
absolutely.
I will choose. I'm the only system I'm loyal to is me. Is the one I'm only loyal to myself in this regard. I'll go where the fun is. And right now, there's so many benefits to the Xbox, and just me saying that, the fact that it can offend people to such a degree that they feel the need to sort of attack me is hilarious, bro. Like, it's not that deep. It's a plastic box, people. But why do you give a shit when I play? Do you know what I mean? It's so weird to me, man.
But honestly, you hit the nail on the head there. I've been the same all the way through. If the console, if whatever console's better or the platform that I think is better, I will go there. Why are you cucking having a like fealty to a box? The same thing with me. A lot of people weaponize me on. And I'm the one who shared the clip to show everyone, look, here's me on PS4 midnight launch telling you why you should get PS4 over the Xbox One. And look, who would argue against that? Xbox lost that.
You're not picking sides. That's what people misunderstand. I'm not picking Xbox as a side.
Yeah.
I just choose the X as my main because it's better for me. And I've explained why it's better for me. You know, it's not... But then people thinking, oh, I'm just doing... So they're thinking that I literally got the Series X, told my wife to get it, so I could grift on the internet. That's what they think.
It makes no sense.
Like,
if you looked at your channel and how diverse the content was before that, and then you played it and you enjoyed it, you didn't expect it to blow up, and then you did, and boom, and you know, you did really well. And a lot of PlayStation guys came at you for it, and a lot of so there's a satellite troll who literally watches this 24/7. I hope you're watching that clip in this. He said, "Who said anything about Sir Bruvian moving to Xbox? Look at PlayStation sales." Like, he literally fell into the whole the absolute Sony moron. That Fanboy.
Matter to me, guys,
Huh?
Like, I don't give a fuck about sales. Like, I don't own shares in either of these companies. That makes
I
no
own shares in
difference to me.
Sony, funny enough.
You know what I mean? Like, people are always like, sales this, well, hardware sales. Well,
It's losing.
I don't give a fuck. Like, what has that got to do with anything? Like, well, Sony's winning. I don't care who's winning, bro. I couldn't give a fuck. Like, it's not the console war and who was winning it shouldn't really factor in to us gamers playing on either one.
Well, I think to a certain degree it does, because the health of a platform will determine, how much, that platform, basically to cater for you. So, for instance, if Xbox was doing really well, for instance, for a lot of hardcore players, and the consoles were selling well, I don't think they would be doing this third-party multi-platform strategy, because, like Phil Spencer said in his kind of funny interview, we lost the worst generation we had to lose, which was the Xbox One generation, which is why I was telling everyone to go.
Well, they killed that with the TV thing. Immediately, they killed that with the TV thing, man. And as soon as I was there when I saw I was just watching the reveal of the Xbox One, and the moment they started talking about TV all the time, that was it. Like, it was, and the world wasn't ready for digital yet.
Yeah,
like,
Xbox
they
were
really
ahead.
tried to.
They were too far ahead.
Yeah, they were thinking far too much about the future at that time, and they saw the writing on the wall.
But their execution was shit. Yeah, their execution was terrible.
It wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time.
And that's the thing with Xbox. Xbox always, and you'll discover this, Xbox has these grandiose ideas, things like where cloud gaming is going to be, or gaming everywhere. But it just falters in its execution, and a few gens down or a gen later, it's been done properly by people, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, we were talking about, yeah, well, you're a bit late and you messed it up. So yeah, it is one of the things that you'll discover as being an Xbox fan is their propensity to shoot themselves in the foot. Well, but this applies for all platforms, really, especially this generation. But yeah.
I mean, look, Reforge said something interesting. He was talking about how I wasn't there for the dark times of Xbox and stuff like that. But again, that's beside the point.
What's that going to do with you? Yeah.
Like, that's nothing to do with me.
Yeah, he wasn't there for the dark times of Xbox. Reforge was there playing Destiny, man. He didn't even do this stuff until he grifted his way onto this, because this is his sole means of a living, which is fair enough. But your grifting is evident. It's obvious. It's there. It's pronounced. It's public. So him crying about, that is quite funny. So what? Like what? Does Bruv Nation have to go back in time and then go through the hard times of Xbox? It makes no sense.
I could like that. And the funny thing is, if I was genuinely wanting to grift, I'd grift for PlayStation, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing what I'm doing for PlayStation. I've been making content against Xbox because it's got the biggest install base.
Exactly.
It'd be very easy for me to become another Reforge, bro.
Yeah.
I can certainly do it better than he could. Do you know what I mean?
Anyone can.
If I can't speak more than one sentence without tripping over himself and contradicting everything he said, he's a living, breathing embodiment of a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Like, at least sell it better than he can. So it's silly that people go, "Oh, you're grifting." So, well, I'm certainly grifting the wrong thing then if I'm grifting.
Exactly. Or the console sales say, "Why would you go the other way?" It makes no sense. And anyone can see that. Yeah, you're being genuine, and you're enjoying being part of this community, which has embraced you as well. The PlayStation guys will only embrace you a certain way, and if you look at all the PlayStation content creator communities, they're absolutely dog shit. So trust me, you've made the right move, doing well, and you may go back when the PS6 comes out. I have no idea what that hardware strategy is for Xbox going forward, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Before we do, let me read these super chats. We got Black Cobra. Sub Gaz and Master Bruv. So apparently Xbox didn't publish Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 remastered from Reforge and DCG. Then who did? Who's saying that? So, huh? Did they actually? Well, I don't know. Who would be publishing it? It's on Game Pass as well, which is crazy. Yeah. And I think you made a video on this, didn't you? Tony Hawk's coming into Game Pass.
Yeah. I did a video on it. Yeah. I did. Yeah.
Have you played 1 and 2?
Yeah, the remake, the remaster.
Yeah. I bought 1 and 2 and I haven't actually played that. I need to actually go ahead and play that. The Infinite Umbra with the Revenge the $5 super chat goes, Xbox is dead, long live Xbox. This is following my super chat on his show that just ended. Rambling Entertained with a $2 super chat. The Xbox grifter meets the Xbox refugee. Let's go, Rambling Entertained. You shit. You do not hold the gates to PC fandom, okay? I'm there already. I'm there. Phase 23, Brooklyn, New York. This is a PlayStation guy. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Sir Bravia. Bravia. He's not named after a Sony TV, for God's sake. It's Bruvian.
That's what Doc was, yeah, they got that from Doc. That's what Doc was saying in our exchange. Yeah, he was calling Sir Bravia.
Oh yeah, I was trying to get Doc in, but weekends are tough for him. But he wanted to be here. He goes, you play your PS5 just for exclusives. I play my PS5 just for exclusives and Xbox games that come over. Well, how many have come over? Yeah. Like, you've been playing, okay. And better on the PS5 Pro.
Well, congratulations, bro. I'm glad you're going to be happy. I'm glad you're going to be enjoying your games on your Pro. What am I? Listen, what am I meant to say to that? Oh no, a knife to the heart. Well done. I'm glad for you. I enjoy your Pro. You know, you've earned it. You've earned those enhancements, bro. You've paid $700 without a stand and a disk drive, so you've earned every enhancement you can get. I honestly, I hope you get better enhancements going forward, and I hope the Pro becomes amazing because it's cost you a fortune. You deserve it, my guy. Like, what am I? Do you want me to be hurt by it? I hope you do get Halo and Gears. No one should play Halo and Gears. No one should be missing out on these games. Good for you, bro. Enjoy yourself.
Face. Well, thank God he was on my Twitter thread when I announced the show, and he was like, "Oh, but we've got your games. Well, at least Xbox is feeding you because you haven't got any games for them." Yeah. Like, what's happened to your what's happened to your first buy?
You're getting like really old games, like, but well done. I mean, look, it's not. What is it? It's a weird flex to me, man. We're getting your games. It's like, well, yeah, because you're not getting any. Like, if you wasn't getting them, you'd be in a bad position right now, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, what if they wasn't getting any?
Mate, if they weren't getting Xboxes, so this article really pissed the PlayStation guys. They were so annoyed, and they tried to mask it. Like, oh no, so Xbox is a third-party publisher, so what? But Xbox apparently is going to release more of its first-party games than PlayStation will this year so far. Yeah. And that's terrible. Like, if we talk about the PlayStation is number one, and the third party, the loser in the console war, is doing better in the games deliveries front.
It doesn't carry itself like the winning system, bro.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to say. It doesn't carry itself. You'll get your Astrobot was a chance for them to shine. No one hardly bought that, but compared to other Game of the Year contenders. But
I mean, I bought it. I bought it.
Platinum Day. I supported PlayStation guys because you guys clearly not doing it.
You don't do it.
And the thing is, the PlayStation. This is the point why I've gone to PC, because the idea of, for me, it's just, and you might eventually get there. I think you will, just based on your mentality. I think you'll end up going on PC as well. And I think a lot of people will end up going on PC because that's where you get everything. You get everything and the best version of everything. Obviously, PC has its quirks that you have to deal with, but mine's been relatively painless compared to the tiers that people shared. But
you saw how long it took me to get into the live.
Maybe don't get to PC. Maybe just take it time. But the point is that PlayStation doesn't carry itself so, remarkably first place in terms of sales, but it doesn't carry it like it did before. So people are holding on to the idea of PlayStation in years gone. And if you're a PlayStation fan and you're happy with the output, that's great. Be happy with it. But to me, it suggests you have low standards where you are just happy with. I think you're holding on to riding the coattails of the legacy of PlayStation, and a lot of the PlayStation guys just don't demand better. They just don't. And that's really frustrating to me. And I'm seeing some of the stuff on the PlayStation, Xbox side as well, where they're excusing this whole strategy and bemoaning exclusivity. And I'm working on a video on all of this, and that frustrates me as well. So I'm just seeing a bunch of, and this is going to sound really horrible. I've got. Not like I got a monster rig, I still got 3080, which is better than the Pro face. It's better than the Pro, yes? So shut your mouth. But it's just lots of like console peasants just just for handbags over shit. And I'm like, come on, man, like it's time to elevate. Xbox
There's
is
a severe lack of logical thinking. around the console space, and it's weird that it's caused by such loyalty. You know what I mean? These are companies that don't give a shit about you, man. You see, for me, I just look at it. The thing is with Xbox, I really love is how consumer pro they are. You know what I mean? Like it gives and it gives and it gives and it gives, man. It never stops giving to you as a user of it. Every time you turn it on, you get rewards. Do you know what I mean? Like, you look at all the games coming out, man. We got like Doom Arcade is coming out. It's just on Game Pass. You can just get it. It's just there to get. You know what I mean? Exhibition for it's free. It's just there to have. Like Atomfall, Sniper Elite 5. All these games are just there at the bottom press. And yes, you can get them on PlayStation, but they're going to bend you over for it. And they're going to charge you a fortune for it. So yeah, it might be better on the Pro, but you've had to pay $700 for the Pro and then full price for the game. We can just, and the good thing is, man, we can play games without the financial commitment. So often we discover games we might not have otherwise ever discovered because we've got easy access to it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And that's a really, really good selling point. And this point about Game Pass, which is principally what you're talking about, is something that should be celebrated. But for the longest time, PlayStation guys will literally deride that, say it's value destructive, that's this and that, and yet celebrate the very games that are appearing day and day. This Reforge's argument, it's a PlayStation stable argument. They cry about the sustainability of it because without saying what they actually think, that this service is too good to be true, but they won't say the good part. They'll just call it unsustainable.
Let that be Microsoft's problem. Like, who are they to talk about the sustainability of it? Like, it exists and it's being used by many millions of subscribers. You let Phil and Microsoft and Xbox worry about the sustainability. Why is that an issue to the consumer? Should I be sitting there going, no, I'm not going to use this because it's not sustainable. I'm not going to download Doom because it's not sustainable. It's what, man? Like, who are these people? Like,
the same people that say that there's value destructive actually have a Game Pass subscription. I've seen them very much talk about sales cannibalization, this and that, and they are Game Pass subscribers, and they will not.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
Nibs, yeah. I'm looking at you, bruv. Nibs, value destructive, and you've got the freaking sub, and I see you all the time as a Game Pass subscriber. You're sitting there, you're a hypocrite. But I'm not talking about how good value it is. You never talk about how incredible value it is. You just talk about its value destructive in your paragraphs of bullshit. But I'm gonna be nice. It's Ramadan. I gotta chill. But yeah, let me just catch up. I feel like you've been doing this for ages. It's a natural chat, man. It's two bravs talking to each other. That's what it's about. BT Maverick with the 5. Hey, bruv, how do you find using Xbox controllers? Asymmetrical sticks as opposed to PlayStation's symmetrical sticks. My thumbs feel a lot more relaxed.
Changed my life, bro. that was one of the big things, man, for me. Is I always found PS pads somewhat uncomfortable after quite long period. No, if I couldn't play for long periods of time because my hands would start to cramp. And I always thought that this would be bizarre. Do you know what I mean? Like the thumbstick placement, but no, bro, it's so much more comfortable. I mean, I've got big hands, so for me, the Xbox pads are so much infinitely better. I can't go back to PlayStation pads now. I'm gonna have to buy a different PlayStation pad which mimics the Xbox pad now to go to play it because it feels so bizarre to me.
Yeah, so I actually like the PlayStation 5 controller. I think they've done a lot right with it. But for first-person shooters, I do agree that I mean, I'm a mouse and keyboard now, but when I was on controller, this suits much better than having two thumbs. Imagine thumbsticks here, and then reaching up. It just didn't work. It just the how it's just slide. I don't know how to explain it. I'm used to this. I guess first-person players on PlayStation will be used to it. It's just I guess it's a touch. It's just a taste thing. But I that's why I couldn't really. I struggled playing first-person shooters on PlayStation using their symmetrical sticks. I guess it's a taste thing. But for me, I prefer.
Yeah, it all depends on your hands, man. But I think for bigger hands, the Xbox pad is certainly. For me, it's much more comfortable.
It's a question of taste. I think PlayStation should get a lot of credit for their new controller. I think Xbox kind of sat back on their revisions for this one, and I think PlayStation beat them to the punch with meaningful updates. I really do like the PS5 controller for the things that it did. But Astrobot is a really shining example of the things with the.
I mean, it'd be nice if it didn't die after 3 hours.
It's really, yeah. To be honest, I say that, but everything is so. I used to complain about that a lot because the PlayStation 5 controllers battery lives are shit. Same with the PS4, PS3, but I'm so close in vicinity to things.
Yeah.
now.
If you're in a setup, it's not a big deal. But if you're like sitting on your sofa though, like quite a way away from it, then it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a piss take. It's a piss take. And a lot of people used to cry about the battery thing, but the battery thing was amazing for me with the Xbox. I can just switch. I've got rechargeable batteries for years, man, and they still work, and they last for ages. And yeah, but I didn't have that option on the PlayStation unless you buy
the Elite pad, bro, lasts for ages, man.
But the problem with the Elite is, and I think they should be sued for it, is the fact that they're so prone to breaking. I've had 2 or 3 Elite controllers, and they've had stick drift and all sorts. So. But they last for ages. The battery lasts for ages. Shabs, a member for 12 months. Look at him with the pink logo as well. I think we've been since the rebrand going for a year. A shout out to Shabs for supporting me for so long through Game On Daily and here. This is good to see more Brits. Yes, welcome Sir Bruvian. Let's get this trend back. Happy birthday, guys. It's not my birthday. Kupo, also hit that like button. Trust me, you missed this whole fiasco of the birthday thing. Don't worry about it. Don't ask about it. Face with the $2 super chat goes, Xbox is winning as a publisher, but not as a platform. I think I would agree with that. I don't think it's winning as a platform at all. I think it's, especially this generation.
They've shifted strategy, haven't they, to publishing, which I mean, it works for them, man, because they've. Do you know what I mean?
I still vehemently believe that we need competition in this space, and that has diminished significantly as a result of Xbox going multi-platform. Now, what that means in the in the future, in terms of competition, a lot of people are saying, well, it's all the games are going to be doing the competing, and I get it. Now, the gaming is so saturated that games have to vie for our time, and this is something that one of my ex-co-hosts on Game On Daily, Asa, kept saying about, games vying for time, and it's all the different competing mediums or whatever. And I always understand that argument, but I think that we saw Peter Moore, the Xbox CEO, and he was a boss in the 360 gen, and he said he purposely was goading the console wars because that was actually galvanizing competition, galvanizing fans, and he said the rising tide that lifted all boats, and that is evident so clearly in the 360 gen that competition really slapped PlayStation around, where they had to, all the stuff that PlayStation guys give PlayStation credit for their first party stuff, all that stuff happened because of Xbox. You've had Sean Layden come out and say that, and we know that. And so that disappearing, I don't know what the future landscape looks like.
Well, you can see how PlayStation have reduced their standards in their first party games as a result of not having that direct competition. Like, this isn't the same. Like, last generation, PlayStation was on fire.
Yeah.
Like, the last generation PlayStation was different. But now, man, now it's like, so you got Spider-Man, bro, and it's like Spider-Man 1 was great, but Spider-Man 2, man, like,
you didn't like it?
No, man, it was okay, but there's like stuff like you buy Spider-Man not to play as Mary Jane, running around with a taser and.
That was until Spider-Man 1.
That was Spider-Man 2, wasn't it?
No, Spider-Man 1 had Mary Jane as well.
Yeah, so it's like.
But they were worse. They were worse. That's the thing. The complaint was that she became like this one shot. She was overpowered in Spider-Man 2, and she was like one shot enemies.
Spider-Man 2 just seemed like they was trying to throw so many things in the pot instead of it being focused. Do you know what I mean? Like you had Venom, you had Kraven, you had the Lizard Guy, you had so many things turning up in one game. And for quite a short game, which it was quite short, it seemed very sort of just all put together, like a stew of different stuff.
I didn't even like 2018, to be honest. But I completed 2018. I thought this is overrated as hell. I think a lot of people just love Spider-Man so much. The traversal of it kind of blindsided.
Well, like, you can't beat, like, it's the swinging around that gets you, man. There's no problem, like, you can just load it up and swing around the city as Spider-Man. I mean, it's epic, bro. Like, they nailed that. Like, they nailed that part of it, like, in Spider-Man. That I could play it for hours just swinging about and going to the tallest building and jumping off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
A lot of people love that, and that was the appeal for everyone, including myself. But that waned very quickly, and I just thought,
I feel like with PlayStation, they lack a lot of innovation right now. Like, there's no new ideas. Everything's, and they have all these old IPs. And I've spoke about this before. They are sitting on a gold mine of IP, and I don't understand why they just don't Twisted Metal. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these games that they could easily just revive, and they don't.
Well, there's innovating, and then there's doing, you suggested innovation, which would then suggest new IPs, and then you've got a gold mine of older legacy IPs, which they can explore. But I don't think they're doing either. I think Astrobot is a good example. Astrobot is one really shining exception to that, where they have, I think Sony should get, and I've said this before, I said it out of the gate as soon as they revealed Astrobot, that this was near Nintendo levels of greatness, and them showing. I do think Astrobot is a bit overrated. I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely think that, but I also think it's an excellent game. But I think as a platform holder, to do a platformer that well, I think Sony do deserve their credit there. So that Astrobot is one exception to that narrative, but the rest of it, I agree with you.
The first one was better than it ever had any right to be. The first one that came with the PS4.
Came with the PlayStation 5, yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing game, and it was. But it did also set an unrealistic standard for DualSense, though, because what happened is you get the PS5 and you play that and you think, oh my god, this generation is going to be mental, because you can't explain to someone who hasn't felt DualSense what it's like when it's implemented right.
Yeah.
But then every game that came out for the PS5 didn't do like 20% of what Astrobot did for the DualSense, and it was like, oh, so I guess this is actually just a gimmick after all. Do you know what I mean? Because it hasn't been implemented. It's been rubbish.
Yeah, you're spot on there. The thing that I liked about the PlayStation 5 controllers relegated really to a handful of titles, if that. Astrobot is one of them, but the rest of it, in terms of third-party stuff, it's not really there. It's not been used that much. Maybe Forza Horizon 5 can actually leverage that tech potentially, but no, generally that hasn't been the case. You're right. And that kind of Astrobot makes you realize that quite a bit, that okay, this is an exception, and it's a good exception. But yeah, we've got Nikki Z with a $5 super chat. He goes, I hope Halo goes to PlayStation. You sick piece of he goes, if these ponies play Halo like they did Concord, I'm gonna get so many overkills. Oh man, that is something I will.
Play if it goes on. Do you think it'll be crossplay?
Absolutely. Well, why not? I mean, the main problem is for Halo hasn't got massively high player numbers, which is sacrilegious. But that's a whole different topic there. But the moment that I don't know if it'll be Halo Infinite, but the Halo remake, which is most likely happening, is going to be on PlayStation Day and Date, which is sacrilegious. But it's going
to be a pony slaughter, gas.
And it should be. It's just like
it's going to be a slaughter, man. Like,
it should be.
I mean, Jesus.
I mean, yeah, but come on, man. Even the mainstream guys are going to be like, what? Halo on PlayStation?
I just finished Halo 3 like yesterday.
What's that?
I just finished Halo 3 yesterday.
For the first time?
So I've been working my way. So I just finished it.
For the first time?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been going through Gears and Halo like one at a time. So I've been doing like a head-to-head every time. So when I did Combat Evolved, and I finished Gears of 1, I did a video comparing them to which one I like the best, and I just finished Gears of War 3 and Halo 3. So
how did you find Halo 3 and Gears 3?
Okay, so look, I think for me in the original trilogy, I think Halo 2 is the worst one. And a lot of people might not like. I thought Combat Evolved was better than Halo 2, but I think Halo 3 was the best one. For me, Halo 2, man, didn't have any moment. Like in Combat Evolved, you have the first interaction with the Flood, which is absolutely ridiculous, right?
Incredible, yeah.
But you also have that moment in the story where Keyes is being taken by the Flood, and you can see him trying to prevent his memories from being taken over. And those two moments dwarf anything that happens in Halo 2 for me.
Okay.
The soundtrack in Halo 2 didn't seem to be as good as number 1 either. Like number 1 just always slapped. Everything you're doing, the soundtrack would just hit, and you'd be like hyped for what was going to happen next. It was a bit more mellow in Halo 2, but Halo 3, man, was just ridiculous. From start to finish, Halo 3 is peak gaming, man.
Yeah, Halo 3 was amazing. And back then, this was 2 generations ago, it was doing things
I
we
missed
don't
out
have
on
now.
so much, bro. I missed out on so fucking much. I can't believe it, man.
Man, you missed out majorly. Like imagine, yeah, playing. Imagine.
I hate myself.
Imagine playing a Halo 3. Like I still remember it, man. Like the midnight launch. I remember getting the Crackdown game, so you can play the beta of Halo 3, which was everyone bought Crackdown just to get access to the Halo 3 closed beta, which was amazing for the multiplayer. And then when the game launched, midnight launch, I mean, every Halo 2 and 3, there were special moments for me, man. But Halo 3 had 4-player, was it 4-player? 4-player co-op. I think it was 4-player co-op for the campaign. And playing that and doing an all-nighter, I just did an all-nighter with my mate, and played Halo.
That's
3.
what I did. I literally started Halo 3 just to start the beginning of it and nearly finished the game in just one sitting, man. I just couldn't come off it.
It was amazing, man. Like, I had a lot of complaints with the ending. I know some people like the ending, but I thought, yeah, you've done a redux of the first game, but I just felt like the aesthetic was really bad. There's like these gigantic tiles breaking apart. I remember writing for 360 magazine, actually voicing my discontent at just how badly I felt Halo 3 ended, but I thought the rest of it was incredible. And it even had things like theater mode and like forge mode, like make your own maps, and then you had multiplayer, which was insane. And PlayStation even now doesn't do this stuff that Halo 3 did 2 generations ago. That's how incredible Bungie used to be. And yeah, so what they are now are a shadow of their former selves, unless they can prove otherwise. And I think the jury's out against them. I am one of the few I'm one of the few guys, let alone Xbox guys, who wants Marathon to be good, who's still holding out hope that Bungie can do something. The writing on the wall is against me.
Why wouldn't you want it to be good? Of course you want it to be good.
The only problem why I think the argument for not wanting it to be good is because it falls into the trap of, it seems, chasing the other zeitgeist. They've revived the Marathon name. They haven't Marathon. If you remember, it's like some weird point click adventure, like really ambient weird game. But it was a classic. It was mad. It was like an old PC thing. So that legacy IP to revive it, and then in what is a hero shooter, and that's what it looks like, an extraction hero shooter. I was like, what are you doing? Like, I love the CGI of it. I love the CGI trailer of it, but I don't know, man. And I just feel like this is Bungie's last chance, by the way. If they don't get this right, they will be swallowed by SIE. So what right now, they've got a very loose independence clause whereby they are independent, or what's left of them is independent. I think we might not even know that they've already been assimilated, but their games are going to come out on Xbox. Marathon's going to come out on Xbox day one, and on PC. But if this doesn't do well, Marathon's going to be solid into SIE, and and that means basically a big chunk of the 3 billion or whatever wasted, as Sony desperately tried to make this last minute jump.
Bro, Sony have been burning money, man. Like, they have been setting that on fire.
The thing is, Sony, see, this is you can't speak to PlayStation guys properly about this, but they will not hold or acknowledge the failure. PlayStation had this reputation for ages for being the best first party publishers out there. And for the longest time, Xbox guys used to say, what about multiplayer? What about multiplayer? The thing that everyone is spending their time on. And they would completely bemoan, completely dilute, or like just spit on multiplayer. Just the idea of multiplayer. PlayStation guys used to shit on it, while secretly, I say secretly, publicly, Call of Duty still dominates number. Their multiplayer top played games shows it's just multiplayer, just gas games, it's just live service games, and they're sitting here saying, first party. They have this like monocle on when it looks at first party titles, but it's like you can't regard yourself as a number one platform holder or publisher if you can't get both right, if you can't get multiplayer and single player right. And Sony's whole, I guess, identity as this number one platform holder with quality just completely shatters when you have 10 failed, 10 cancelled games, more than 10 cancelled games. Huh?
It's a lot, man.
That's a massive failure. If your number one studio, Naughty Dog, spends years doing factions and then fails and goes in and goes back to single player, you've lost. So this is it. You massive failure. So when Xbox guys are saying, well, we still believe that Killzone, SOCOM, or Resistance or whatever can make it, can stand a chance of making a splash, and PlayStation guys go, not really. Well then, okay, you have resigned PlayStation to its lowly status as just a one-trick pony. But PlayStation guys don't get that. But yeah. Sorry, let me just catch up with these super chats. We've got a Rambling Entertained with a 5. If you think their current output is frustrating, think of the fact that you can play more PlayStation 2 games on PC, Steam Deck, and Xbox Series X out of the disc. What? You can play more PlayStation 2 games on PC and Steam Deck and Xbox Series X out of the disc. Oh, you're talking about PlayStation stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a PlayStation 2 which won't work on a PS5, will it?
No, it won't. So PS4 controls won't work.
Yeah, backwards compatibility is absolutely terrible. Man.
It is atrocious. They don't care about game preservation at all. Face Brooklyn, New York, thank you with a $20 super chat. I'm not considering you a PC elitist until I get a 1490. You barely beat a PS5 Pro with a 3080, you peasant PC gamer. I beat it though. You know it does. Barely beat it. Barely beat it. You've been the one literally licking at Digital Foundry for the last 4 years for 3 to 4 frame rate differential between Series X and PS5. And now you're talking about barely beating, bruv. You need to sit down and take a pisser on your PlayStation 5 Pro, bro. The pisser is not working, bruv. I am enjoying greatness. You can't enjoy this on your pisser, bruv. Get a refund. The PlayStation 5 Pro is shit. Shabs Inevitable with the $2 super chat. Monster Hunter Wild Steam. Shit. Shabs. Oh, what have I done? Shabs has just smashed out a code for the Steam code for Monster Hunter Wilds, man. One of the most generous people out there, man. Thank you so much, Shabs. Whoever got that, I hope you've told everyone in chat who, if you have got that, the Steam version isn't, or the PC version in that case isn't the best. Either way, I hope they sort that out, and I will jump on that as well. Chaser, who's an Arsenal fan, just donates £1. Thank you so much for that. Go Arsenal. Not that I watch football at all. Yeah. So before this has been a weird one because I had a set list of topics. But I think there was so much to talk to you about stuff that we've actually kind of hit the intro topics already. I was going to talk to you about grifting, and then in brackets wrote Reforge Gaming, where we talked about that. We talked moving from PlayStation to Xbox. We talked about that. Talked about your YouTube journey. You've kind of led to how you jumped in, and I'm really glad to see that you're enjoying it. And there will be ups and downs with YouTube. Just bear that in mind. It's just it's a journey. YouTube will make sense some days, and it won't make other sense. But just don't.
No, I know.
Just enjoy that. Just enjoy it. That's what I do. I only make content when I'm enjoying it. So what games have you been playing other than Halo 3? You mentioned Gears 3.
Gears 3. So I got a bunch. I'm playing Mass Effect. I mean, I've played Mass Effect tons of times, so I really should be trying to play other stuff I haven't played. But Mass Effect is one of those games which always pulls me back.
Oh, amazing!
Starfield.
Yeah.
I'm playing a bunch of stuff. Wolfenstein games I just discovered through Game Pass. Never played them, but I finished the Old Blood the other day, and I've just started New Order. So I'm playing a bunch of different stuff right now. Just also Recore I just downloaded. What else? There's a bunch of different stuff. Dragon Age Origins I'm running through again. Another thing that doesn't get talked about enough is the FPS boost, man.
Oh yeah.
The FPS boost on older games is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Like you get like 120 FPS on Dragon Age Origins, man. It's just, and for an old game like that, it does make a world of difference, bro. It does.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. And Xbox has got quite a good set of features for its hardware. I wonder what it's going to do the next one. I really am intrigued to see what Xbox does in this next bit of hardware. It's going to be interesting. I've been playing a whole...
It's going to be coming out a lot sooner than the PS6, right? Because of the Pro. They can't. The PlayStation can't release another console, bro. Like not like for a while. Because they just launched that.
Yeah, so it's interesting you mentioned that. So this week we had Call of Duty, the next 2026 edition, and it's coming from Insider Gaming, Tom Henderson, and he's been reporting on leaks, and a credible leaker, actually a really credible leaker from Call of Duty leaker. And he's actually, because there were some rumors suggesting that Microsoft were making the next Call of Duty be compatible or playable on the PS4 and Xbox One, and I was like, what? But but that's just ridiculous. But he poured cold water on that and said, no, that's not true. In fact, the next Call of Duty, he says, is actually working for current gen consoles and the next Xbox. They're actually making it work, or they're testing it, or whatever. It's going to be compatible with the next Xbox. So what a lot of people are suggesting is a 2026 date. Cole Eastwood in the chat made a video. I think he said Xbox is coming 2026. I initially thought that, but then I'm thinking it's 2027, man. I think 2027 is the earliest you'd see it.
2026 sounds a bit too soon.
Yeah,
man,
it's a bit too soon.
But if it did drop in 2026, that would have a massive impact on GTA 6, because everyone will want to play GTA on the best possible console.
Yeah.
And if the new Xbox drops, because I don't think we're going to get GTA this year. I don't. I think it'll be next year we get GTA.
Yeah, it could go either way. It could go either way.
Xbox dropped a new system, bro, and it has all the bells and whistles of a next-gen system, not just like a mid-gen refresh like the Pro. That's going to have a major impact on bro. That could mean massive sales for Microsoft.
That's a good point you raised there. Rockstar and GTA are a force. I've actually finished my video on it, just which I was ready to publish, but I've been going in a massive GTA 6 leak kind of just rabbit hole. Got leaked footage, leaked documents of everything, and it's made me even more excited, man.
GTA isn't another game release, man. GTA is a gaming event. It's going to be like COVID up in here, man, when that drops. It's just going to be like a lockdown, man. No one's going to work. No one's doing shit. No one's adulting. Everyone's just going to be like, said they get. And people were saying they're not going to buy it. They're going to buy it. Everyone on YouTube is going to be talking about it. I said before, I did a short about this, and I got some flack for it. But look, I stand by it. But remember when there was leaks that people were saying it might cost 100?
That came out this week again. Michael Paxton was saying that.
I'm telling you right now, everyone will pay 100 for it.
Yeah,
I'll pay 100 for it. Everyone's saying they won't pay 100 for it. We'll pay 100 for it.
100%.
Because this isn't a game where you're going to play it for 30, 40 hours and stop and then play it. This is a game you're going to play for 10 years plus.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard not to buy it when every time you turn on your TV, every time you go on YouTube, all you're seeing, bruv, is GTA 6.
Yeah.
Like, that's gaming. Might as well just change its name from gaming to GTA 6, because that's all it's going to be.
Yeah. Like, honestly. But you're spot on, man. GTA. Like, someone was crying on Twitter about me talking about GTA too much. I'm like, mate, it's GTA. I'm back on. I started playing GTA. I spent a whole day with my friend playing GTA Online again, because on PC it's just so bodily smooth.
I haven't played 2015 GTA Online. That's how long it's been since I played GTA 5.
Bro,
it's been a minute.
Imagine going back, but they've got so much content on it now. It's ridiculous. I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I'll try and play it on the stream here. Wait, let me got it here. And it was such an incredible experience, man. Like playing this, but which is still so far ahead of so many different things in this incredible world. And then when I went down the rabbit hole of, wait, let me put the volume down. The rabbit hole of what GTA 6 has, and there's some credible leaks, because my mate Jake actually gave me the leaked documents way before the leaks actually got propagated and people were talking about, and then the leaks happened. The big leaks were showing the gameplay, and all that stuff came true. The dual protagonist, the female protagonist, and there's so much in there that people don't even know about this game. The things that it will do. It's gonna be a mashup of Red Dead Redemption 2. It's gonna be a mashup of GTA 4 and 5 in terms of its story, and then it's gonna be a lot more grounded as well. in its gameplay. So it's gonna, but it's gonna it's $1 billion, bro. $1 billion to develop this game is ridiculous.
Look, man, look. This is the thing is, Rockstar can spend $1 billion, and it doesn't even touch them at this point. The amount of money they've earned from GTA 5 since it launched, bro, they just had a blank check. They could just make whatever they want.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That's why this is just such a. This isn't just a normal. This is an anomaly.
Yeah.
This is. You're not going to get another game like this. This is going to the pinnacle of the medium we're in right now. It's whether you like it or not, whether you want to say anything bad about it or not. The truth is, you're looking at the best, a development team which never misses. You're looking at this game, bro, is going to be a meteorite landed in gaming, and you're either on board with it or you just know you know what I mean. You can't deny it.
You can't. That's a good way to put it.
All these publishers are shitting themselves right now. No one knows when to release games. There's no release dates for everything. They're like, it's coming, but we don't know when, because they don't want to commit. And then GTA get a release date.
Right, that's the crazy part about it. That the developers, publishers across the whole gaming landscape is just weighted with bated breath. Like, can you just tell us? Can you just tell us when this is coming out so we can get on with our lives and plan our future? Because this is going to be massively disruptive.
Well, no one, you can't. It's like when a nuclear bomb goes off and you still have the radioactive. You know, for a long time it's still really dangerous. They can't drop anything after GTA. They have to get it in before. Yeah. They need to get it in before. So they're all frantically now trying to wrap things up to get their stuff out before this happens.
It's gonna be, yeah, exactly. And but to your point, if it ever came out, if GTA 6 comes out next year, I hope it's this year. Please come out this year. I'm dying for it, man. But if GTA 6 comes out next year and the next Xbox was coming out that year, then that would be a big thing. I don't think it's gonna happen. Bro. Yeah, I think it's 2027 though. I think Xbox is coming out 2027.
But even 2027, a lot of people then would be console gamers. A lot of them then would be jumping to the Xbox who didn't have one, because the first thing you're going to see,
assuming it has 60 frames, yeah,
the first thing you're going to see is the differences. People will be showing comparisons. Oh, on the new Xbox it runs at this. You know what I'm saying? But then people will want that.
But that's the same thing you could say about the Pro, because this is the thing. The Pro is to me is just seems like a really just bleh console. Pretty disappointing anyway. It doesn't really. I'm like, at that point, at 700 quid, if you're going to dedicate that much money, just go get a PC, man.
Yeah, the problem with the Pro isn't specifically what the console can or can't do. The problem with the Pro is its pricing. It doesn't justify its price. That's the problem.
Yeah,
with the Pro.
I think the price kind of brings it into the realms of PC. And you might say, oh, we can't buy everything for your PC at that price. Fair enough. But at that point, that's a sizable chunk of money you can dedicate to a PC that will do a lot more. And
yeah, but you could commit the 700. Well, look, to get the stand and the disk drive, you're talking over 800 quid, right? Yeah. So you can save up that much money. You might as well save up $1,000 and buy a PC which is going to far exceed the Pro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
yeah, exactly.
If you 500, guys. If they'd have gone, here's the Pro, 550 quid. Then you could at least to some degree go, fair enough. Okay. Yeah. But not, and they didn't even give us a stand, bro.
That stand thing's a piss take, bro. It's like, you just pay 30 quid for this piece of shit. It's like, what are you doing? And then people still defend that. It's just like, bro, I don't even know what to say to them. Like, PlayStation guys used to make fun of Xbox releasing more controllers than games. Now PlayStation's doing it with the Last of Us controllers for like 80 quid or something so stupid. I'm like, wait, just slap some stick on it. It looks terrible. And what do you say to them?
The idea of no Last of Us 3 wounds me, man.
Yeah. So the last that's another topic actually. Might as well hit now. It's no Last of Us 3. So I personally boycotted The Last of Us 2 for political reasons. But you, being a PlayStation guy or former I don't know, whatever. You loved The Last of Us, I imagine.
Yeah, and I loved Last of Us 2, bruv. I wasn't one of these people that, in my opinion, and it's a hot take, I preferred the second to the first. Okay. I'm a big fan of the whole series, but specifically 2 I thought was absolutely brilliant. But the idea of not getting a 3 is kind of like on brand for Sony right now. They just don't seem to be able to keep their games going. And I used to look at Xbox and think, man, they really milk their shit. 5 Gears of Wars, 5 Halos, like. But now I look at it from a different perspective and think, well, least they keep giving the fans what they want, and that's more of the games that they love. Sony have this issue right now of just being unable to keep anything alive for too long. Like,
I think the only thing I would say to counter that, as someone who hasn't played The Last of Us 2, is I don't respect Neil Druckmann at all as a human being, but I was, in terms of an artist and a creative, I do respect that, you know, some stories don't have to be told again and again. You can wrap up a story. I don't really know how other than Joel getting absolutely lasered by a golf club, I don't really know much about the story. Well, I do know much about the story.
I have to say, man, I think not a lot of people gave them credit for that. Because do you realize how easy it would have been for Naughty Dog to have milked this Joel and Ellie relationship to the high heaven? To have just milked
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Bro.
I agree with
to
that.
not just kill off Joel, but to do it in the way they did, bro. You have to applaud that sort of bravery, man. People complain when people have plot armor. They complain about it. And then when you kill people off, they complain about it. Like,
I feel like if I loved The Last of Us 1, and if I played The Last of Us 2, and I've read the story synopsis and analysis, critical analysis of its story, its different, you know, the different factions and what it represents. That sense I've read the story, but not the finer minutiae of the character interactions, their relationships with each other and all of that. That I haven't seen. But one thing I will say is it's a shame that they got leaked. Well, it's not a shame. I don't give a shit. Let the company fail. But the fact that they killed off Joel, and with this other character that they've introduced, I thought it was Bowles. They had Bowles. It was bold, and he had ballsy move to do that. And I wish more people start taking those kind of risks instead of being beholden.
But they won't, because look at the reaction to it. They won't, because
some people say it wasn't, bruv. Some people say it was not done well. My mate Fonz in the chat says it was shit the way they handled it. I don't know. I'm just, on the face of them taking that risk, I respect it.
I don't agree. What good of a way can you kill? How do you want them to kill it with kid gloves? You want them to do it nicely, give them a cuddle before you do it? Like, the thing is about the entire thing is we already knew that Joel was a dick, right? We'd accepted that Joel was a dick. Joel had admitted that he'd done bad things to survive, right? So we know that there was a lot of subtlety in that scene, which a lot of people just don't want to give credit. The second one, when Abby confronts Joel, there's a lot of subtlety in that scene where he basically knows, right, that this day he had coming. And he doesn't know who it is. But he's like, okay, you could be one of a million people who want me dead because he's done that many bad things. And it's that sort of really intelligent story design I really liked. And he's like, look, just get your speech over and then just do what you need to do. Do you know what I mean? Because he knows that he's been an arsehole. And I liked it, man. I had issues with number 1. I always thought Last of Us 1 was overrated. Oh, yeah? I never bought into it as this masterpiece. I had issues with number 1. I felt like Joel went from uninterested babysitter to sacrifice the whole world for Ellie in quite quickly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt like the first one, a lot of their development happened off screen. Like, it happened as the seasons passed, but we didn't get to see it really evolve and grow all that much outside of Joel being hurt in winter and her sort of helping him. But he literally was handing her over to his brother, going, "Oh, fuck this," right? To suddenly sacrificing the world for Ellie. And while I liked it, I didn't love it. But the second one, I thought was a much deeper story. And I liked that they put you in the shoes. They made you hate Abby. Bro, right? Games don't do this anymore. They made you hate Abby with a passion, right? You watched her brutalize Joel. Then they had the audacity and the balls to put you in her shoes, bro, and take her through her journey leading to Joel. And I found that a bit of genius. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And I was able to put that hate and that, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. And then, okay, let's see where they go with this. And I found it a really good journey. And the end of the game, you haven't played it, so you won't know what I'm talking about, but I'll try and explain it best I can. The end of the game, there's a final. You've probably seen it on YouTube, the showdown between Ellie and Abby, right? So you're controlling Ellie, and I sympathise with Abby so much that every time I had to hit attack, I did not want to do it. I was feeling like I was being forced to do something I didn't want to do. And that hit me on a human level in a way that not many games do. So when people bitch to me about Last of Us 2, I just think either a lot of it went over your head, or you was just too fangirling over Joel dying too much, and you just couldn't get over that death. To really, if you take the game for what it is, it's an interesting story, one which you won't see again, because it was very, very ballsy, man. I can't believe they had the balls to do it, because they could have played it so safe, bro. It would be so easy to play Last of Us 2 safe.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, I feel like from my observations, a lot of the hatred for the story was because they wanted Neil Druckmann to play it safe, Naughty Dog to play it safe. And I feel like, and it was all because of Joel. They were just from a lot of the hatred because of their favorite Joel character getting killed off, and I felt like that was a bit juvenile. When someone is,
it wasn't the game they envisioned in their mind it being. That's the issue.
Yeah,
they had an idea.
Yeah. But I haven't played it, so the jury's out on the execution of all the finer details.
I'd like you to play it. I would. It's like I think anyone should play it to reach their own decision. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And see, because I took a lot from that game, and I've played it more times than I've played the first one. I really, really liked it. But here's the thing: when I say I like number 2 over number 1, I will explain to people my reasoning why.
Yeah.
A lot of times, when someone says they hate number 2, their only reason is Joel died. It's like that's not really a reason, but that's quite, like you said, juvenile. It's like that's all you're going to take away from it. Like, or some people just refuse to play it because Joel died. It's like, and so how can we expect any developer to take a risk? How can we expect anyone going forward to take a risk? Like, PlayStation play it so safe now. It's always the same formula, over the shoulder camera. It's the same thing with a different coat of paint. They play it extremely safe. How can we expect them to take a risk when they do try to take risks, they get shit on?
Well, there's a risk based on narrative risk. It's still them playing it's still a third person over the shoulder game, which is what's so Sony's one trick pony.
In general, do you know what I mean? It's why would they? It's a difficult time right now because the amount of money Sony are losing specifically with all these cancellations and stuff. The idea of them trying to innovate now just seems like it won't happen because it's so risky.
Well, yeah, that's funny that you again another good segue into some of the topics about the PlayStation layoffs. So we've had some more reports of PlayStation layoffs afflicting studio following the 10 games being cancelled. But we also got some bad news about the studio behind Until Dawn shuttering its doors, which is sad. Obviously, they had a strong relationship with Sony, so the failure of that studio being what was it called? So the name getting shut down is seen as a PlayStation failure, and it was quite interesting because the interview was quite scathing, where they were saying that we put all this hard work in, and then Sony really didn't kind of give a shit about it. There's a poor paraphrasing of it. I'll try and find where it is, but yeah, so that is coming to bear, like Sony's failed attempt at trying to do multiplayer. It's very vacant roadmap, which if you say roadmap to PlayStation guys, they start crying. They really just can't handle that. They're like, wah! But it's true, they can't do it. So the Ballistic Moon, sorry, I was saying Blue Moon. Ballistic Moon shut down, and I'm gonna try and find yeah, so here it is. It says Sony said after the game, their last game, the Until Dawn remake, they might actually greenlight more funding for updates, but it looks like they didn't. The source said regarding working at the studio, most who spoke said it was a generally good place to work. Many spoke highly of the teams and the work being done. One former employee but what they didn't like was going through unpaid overtime. One former employee equated it to weeks of unpaid work, and that the internal announcement of redundancies came after the team had worked overtime. So he says it was a nice reward for our hard work.
Wow.
That's terrible. So PlayStation's had, the failed acquisition, in my opinion, unless Marathon can do some miracles. You've got multiple studios.
Game, bro. Like they acquire
Blue
Blue
Point.
Point Games, and they could have been working on any number of the legacy IPs that are just sat there, right? Siphon Filter, Twisted Metal, whatever it could be,
Yeah.
Resistance, Killzone. But instead, had them working on a God of War.
Multiplayer is disgusting.
Well, who's asking for that?
Yeah, exactly. A shout out to the it's just stupid. I think even PlayStation guys struggle to actually defend that because it was ridiculous. Breweris with a $10 super chat, thank you, man. Because the issue for me is not the way Joel died, it's the issue with how they made Joe act so dumb compared to what he was in the first game. He knows he's going to get hunted, and to act so carelessly is not good. So he didn't like the manner in which Joel died. It's not the fact that he did die. Face with you, Brooklyn, New York. I bet you are 50-90 that the next Xbox is not coming out in 2026. I'm not saying it's coming 2026. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying it's coming 2027.
Yeah, I think 2017 is more realistic to me.
Yeah, so same here.
I can't imagine new console dropping next year, bro.
I don't think so. I don't even know what the form of it is going to be. But yeah. So, the one big game that came out, and you gotta love freaking Hazelight Studios, man. I don't know if you've ever played their games, but Josef Fares smashed it out the... You have? Yeah, that's good. Because Split Fiction has been dominating, and it just looks so good. It looks so good. It looked better than It Takes Two to me right from the get-go. I loved it. I played it with Hagi in the chat, and it's a beautiful game. But Split Fiction, which I bought day one, which I'm just trying to discover the right person to play with live on stream.
I haven't played it yet. I'm a big fan of A Way Out and It Takes Two, though. I play them with when we miss with Brov. We played the last two together. I'm going to be playing this one as well. Brov, anything they make is gold. You just know it. I've not even really been watching trailers for it because I know that I'm going to like it, and I don't need to see things before I experience it. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. It doesn't surprise me that it's getting so much praise because it's a guaranteed to be good. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Josef Fares is amazing, man. Like he's got his head screwed on right. They've got such incredibly just talented people working on it, and really, I will not be surprised that if I play Split Fiction, that game is a better platformer than Astrobot. I'm sitting at 91, but I will not be surprised because I thought It Takes Two did so much more in terms of originality than Astrobot, but it seems like potentially...
It's how they always introduce new mechanics all the time. That's what's impressive about these games. Like with It Takes Two, every time you went to a new area, there was new mechanics you had to learn and in order to progress to the next bit. Whether it be slowing down time or using some sort of magnetic effect on something or whatever, or shrinking and getting bigger, whatever it was, there was all these mechanics bundled into one game.
Yeah.
And that's what made it so impressive. And Split Fiction, look, man, it being sci-fi and fantasy, man, that's my thing. So I can't wait.
Yeah. I love that. A sci-fi element of it just got me to really like the game. I like that. I mean, It Takes Two is a beautiful game, incredible game. But the whole kind of like divorcey thing, it was like, okay.
Yeah, no, I wasn't that into that bit. I mean, it's like, so this is much more my thing.
Yeah, definitely much more my thing as well. Like the whole vibe looks really cool. And I've kind of avoided seeing gameplay out on social because I just kind of want to discover them. Because the crazy part is It Takes Two just chucks in, like the game has so many different mechanics will just throw at you like out of nowhere. Then the game is something else, then it's something else, then there's something else, and then on top of that they meld in the co-op element of it, so you're working together to do these things, and and it just looks so good. And I've got it. I'm just waiting to I want to stream that. See, these special games, I just want to. Time is something I just don't have, but I still want to experience that live with everyone, like I did with Sekiro, like I want to do with Elden Ring. I've done a bit of Elden Ring, but I have to start again because I'm on PC now. And Split Fiction is another one. I just want to live stream that and just enjoy the shit out of that game because that game's going to be something else, man. So it's doing really well, sitting on 91 Metacritic. I don't know if you guys have played it. But yeah, looks mid. I'll wait for Yotai. I hope Sea of Swim you're not talking about Split Fiction there. But yeah, another game that's been it's coming out is Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's been people have been getting lots of review copies of this game. And I feel like a lot of people will be surprised because what I'm hearing from a lot of...
I'm looking forward to it. I'm more excited for that than I am Ghost of Yotime, man. Like,
Really?
Yeah, I mean, look, I wasn't that into Ghost of Tsushima. My wife, she loved it. But I wasn't over that bothered about it. But look, man, I like ninjas, right? And Shadows you can play as a ninja, and it's Assassin's Creed in like Japan. I think it's going to be good. From what I've seen, it looks like they've been cooking. And the politics of it never bothered me because I don't care about that shit. Like when I'm playing a game, I don't think politically is there anything wrong with it. I don't care, man. Is it fun? Then I'll play it. I mean, that's all I'm really bothered about.
Depends on how it impacts something like story. With the Assassin's Creed one, I thought it was funny because if you know the history, because I have friends who worked at Ubisoft, it's been the way they greenlit it and consulted on this was atrocious. Like developers within there say it was atrocious. But what they've managed to do might be, in terms of gameplay, might be something special. I've had a few different people play it. Feeding back on it, and they're impressed with it. They are also impressed with some of the visuals of the game. May have seen it, and some of the gameplay. It's just people. It's a really good game. Whether or not that will be the game to save Ubisoft, because Ubisoft is in dire straits, remains to be seen. But it's interesting that you were actually looking forward to the Shadows more than Yote. If someone clips that, you're screwed.
Look, I don't give a fuck.
I could.
I can look forward to whatever the hell I want, guys.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Like, I liked Ghost of Tsushima, but I just didn't love it. Do you know what I mean?
I really liked it.
Yeah. The idea of playing as a ninja and a samurai guy, yeah. I mean, look, I'm quite simple when it comes to this stuff. Like, does it look fun to me? Like, Shadows always looked fun to me, so. I like the idea of playing as a ninja / samurai in an open world, Assassin's Creed sort of world. Seems more fun to me than a Ghost of Tsushima 2. But that's because I was never a massive fan of Ghost of Tsushima. Like it was my wife who loved that. Like I'm here or there with Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, no, I really love Ghost of Tsushima, but I think with Assassin, it's just bastardized what the spirit of what Assassin's Creed games used to mean and to be.
Not really Assassin's Creed anymore. It's just the name of the brand at this point. Like, it's not, you shouldn't be comparing Assassin's Creed games anymore to what they used to be, because that's silly, because it hasn't been that for a very long time. I mean, they tried with Mirage to somewhat bring it back, but they didn't.
Chat's being messy. Shout out to Epic Treasure in the chat. She's been bearing with hurricanes in Australia, but I think she's seen the worst of it go by. She was literally some like massive gale force winds there. But yeah, Marsh, are you okay in chat? I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, look, Assassin's Creed is gonna be. I don't give a shit about Assassin's Creed. In fact, I think Ubisoft deserve a clap in the face for just being. It's one of those where they didn't have any real drive or vision to innovate, and they haven't. And it's kind of given meh. And I hope they get. I don't want them to. Obviously, my friend who works there will lose his job, but I do. He thinks I'm such a piece of shit when it comes to. I'm like, this game's. It will give me access to a game like was it Valhalla? I don't even know the name of the game. I had it. I was playing it a year before it came out. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, it's nice, whatever. And he's like, you piece of shit, are you giving you exclusive access to play this game and you don't even care about it? I'm like, it's the same shit. You guys repeat and produce the same shit over and over again. And now you call it an Assassin's Creed. You've turned it into something else, like a Ghost of Yotai mixed with something, and you just bastardized what Assassin's Creed I wanted it to be. Is like a proper assassin. That you can't just be fighting 50 people at once. You want to be melding.
Well, you're not going to get that, guys. Sorry, you're not going to get it, bro.
I know.
Right.
I've resigned to it. That's why I don't care about it.
And listen, guys. I like Valhalla. Right. I enjoyed Valhalla. So fuck you guys.
I get the same thing from Colt, from Zorka, and from Fonz. They love Assassin's Creed. I just slap them across the face with my.
I like the open world, man. I like the open world AC games. I liked Odyssey. I liked Origins. I liked Valhalla. Bro, I like role playing as a Viking. Okay, I like being a badass Viking, dual wielding shields, for some weird reason and just slapping people with them. You know, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, I'm not having a go. I just not for me, because I had an idea of where this franchise was going to go. It does look good though. I will be honest. It looks fun. So if it reminds me of Ghosts of Tsushima, but I'd rather play Ghosts of Yotai than have play Assassin's Creed. But it might be a good game. It might. In a way, it would be quite nice to see that succeed and be like smash it out of the park, because then people would be like, oh, we wrote this off because of politics and all sorts, or Ubisoft being Ubisoft. But yeah, we'll see.
I mean, I never ever pay attention to that stuff though, man. I'm so out of the know when it comes to that stuff, because I just don't focus on it.
I think I don't blame you, because there's a lot of the social media discourse on it is just toxic as hell, and it's just very weighted one side, and you can't be in the middle. You're not allowed to be in the middle, which I found. I'm like, and I feel like I'm in the middle here. Like, some of the woke stuff is just like, bro, this is just you kind of pandering. You're not really thinking about what you're doing and doing the story justice. And then on the other side, you've got people who are like, all right, you're just a little bit pissed because the person's black or brown, and it's just like you're just crying because the woman's tits aren't big enough, and it's just like, mate, it's just a bunch of two sets of losers having a go at each other. It's like, where's the people in the middle? Like, I just want a good story. I just want you to do the craft of justice. You can't have that conversation online, so don't even delve into it, man. It's just not even worth what the hassle. I made a video on it, and I just had vented out on going at it on both sides, and I just said, that's it. I've said my piece. There's some rumors now. We'll talk very quickly. Gears of War, the Gears collection, which is coming to PlayStation. Another bit of sacrilege, but not as bad as Halo. But that's coming. Apparently, is going to be revealed this summer at the Xbox Showcase event in June.
Well, they're offering 2 and 3. Then is that the idea?
I don't know.
Surely they can't. They're not going to release it as 360 versions, are they?
No. They're just a remake. So they're saying off the three first. I don't know if it's 1 to 3 or it's 2 to 2 and 3. I don't know what it is.
Well, they already did like a remaster of the first one, so I'd imagine it would just be 2 and 3. So they don't need to touch the first one up, I don't think.
Is it a remaster or a remake? Because the only way I'd be interested is if it's a UE5 remake. Then I'll be like, okay. Then I will buy it, because I want to see this game running on UE5 as a remake. I don't know. I think it's ambitious to ask for a chat.
And because they're not catering to you, though, guys. They're not catering to anyone who's played it.
Exactly.
They're just getting it to an audience who haven't. So they're not going to be that. They're not going to be like, well, it needs to be remade. They'll just be happy they have it. So they'll buy it no matter what.
That's true.
Anyway, because I would have done. If I didn't have a Series X, bro, and Gears of War came over, I'd have paid full price for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's why it makes sense for it to be coming out on PlayStation, knowing Xbox's multi-plat strategy. So that will definitely... if it exists, it's coming out on PlayStation. Well, every Xbox game's coming out on PlayStation. But that game, the chain gun with haptics actually might be a good shout. But yeah, so... that
would be fine, I can't lie.
Huh?
Yeah, that would be quite cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
chainsaw and haptic feedback with chainsaw, that would be quite, especially for the duels.
Yeah, if they do it well, that could be really cool. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Initially, anyway, you're turning off a multiplayer, but the problem is there's no multiplayer, according to some rumors. From multiple people are saying that this game the collection doesn't have multiplayer. What do you think about that?
I mean, PlayStation guys don't play together online anyway.
It's facts.
No one would even notice, guys. If they didn't tell you, they'd never even know.
It's facts.
What? Party chat? What is this party chat people are talking about? We don't do party chats over here, man.
Yeah.
No, it's true, man. I'm telling you, right? I've said it before. I'll say it again. When I was on PlayStation, the amount of times I would make posts or whatever, trying to get someone to add me so I could jump in a party chat with them and play a game. And it's so fucking hard to do that on PlayStation. Because what happens is you can get someone will throw you their PSN and you'll go bet. You add them. You invite them to a party chat, and it's like you can just imagine the other end going, "What's he doing? I don't do party chat." It's like, do you get that? I don't have a mic. Oh, I don't want to. Oh, maybe late. No one wants to fucking talk on PlayStation, bro. They don't. It's so hard to actually find someone who will engage you in a conversation. But I can add anyone on Xbox, and jump into a party chat and we're speaking and we're gaming. It's just a different culture on PlayStation.
That's so true, man. That's so true. That's why they like the single player games, because when they play, so
think that way. They're used to just like, they want to put their feet up, play their single player games and enjoy it. But when it comes to actually communicating with someone else and playing together, they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
For years, man.
PlayStation guys are social recluses, man. That's why the only time you'll see them really rally against PlayStation is if they censors their games, because they love their hentai games and single player games because they can sit with this and just have a good time single player. Is having someone else sitting there listening to them have the fapping is probably immersion breaking for them. But yeah, joking aside, multiplayer, I think you can't really do Gears justice without multiplayer. I think the multiplayer is actually really like a strong suit. But at the same time, I'll be honest, to me, and I'm not going to bore you with my whole Gears take and the evolution of the formula thing. I think that's been stagnant for a long time. I've been saying this and writing articles and all sorts about Gears of War. But I think it'll be okay. I'm not saying it's good. I think that's an L. That's an L. And having no multiplayer for Gears is an L. But if the release of Gears E-Day is close to it, so there are rumors suggesting that Gears of War E-Day is coming out at the end of this year. A lot of people are talking about inside it's substantially ready. People are talking about, you know what, it could actually be ready to deploy at the end of this year. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, especially if GTA actually gets released. I don't think that would be stupid. I don't know what they're basing it on. I think some these events, some execs have kind of let loose that Gears is in a more advanced state, but I don't know what this is based on. This is just hearsay, so please don't write articles on it. But it's clearly much. What I'm hearing is that it's developed substantially, ready to go, like a lot further than you may think. To me, it seems like a 2026 game. I would love, I'd love to see, and I want to see the multiplayer for that. I honestly really care more about it, because I think Gears of War, they're going to do a lot. They're doing a lot with Gears E-Day based on what they said on paper. Now, whether or not, and I'm going to be just like I got it in the neck for my Halo Infinite takes, I think this may be one of those where either it succeeds and I'm just so happy with what they've done and they've went true to their word. So let me just explain, bruv. You may not know what I'm talking about. Gears of War, great game. Good series, but I just felt like it started to lack impact. It became same old, samey stuff. You could see the battle. I played all of them, apart from Judgment, which was shit. And
bear in mind, I've only played the first 3,
which is fine, which is good, which is fine. The other, I didn't think so much for the last one with its open world formula, and by then I thought, okay, right, this is just. You can make this so much better if you hone in on what made Gears so special in the first place. Make it more survival horror. Make it more close, more impactful, like the first one. Like, just make it
claustrophobic and atmospheric and stuff like that.
Bloody and just violent, and just make these brutes seem like scary. Make them freaking, like, it became so stupid. You had gigantic mechs you were controlling, massive, like, just firing lasers and shit, and it just became stupid. The story was always just really dumb, apart from a couple of points where Dom and his wife and him I mean that whole scene was absolutely probably one of the best directed scenes. That's horrible. It's really good, but it's deep, dark scene. Really bad, actually. Well, not bad, good, but that hit your heartstrings, like seeing his wife like that. I'm like, and then Dom saying his farewell.
It was the fact that he saw her coming out of the thing looking how he remembered her rather than how she was. And then you realise that's his inability to deal with the trauma of what he was seeing. He was seeing her for how she was, and you was along for the ride, and you start to look and go, well, she looks a bit too clean, doesn't she? Like, she looks well kept, to be fair. Yeah, and then it was that Marcus is like, Dom, it's going to be okay. And then the veil lifts and we see what she really is like. Bruv, it was a magnificent scene. I thought Gears 2 was the best of the original trilogy. I thought Gears 2 was phenomenal.
Yeah, okay. I I think maybe. I'm just trying to remember, but maybe. And that was amazing.
It's from beginning to end, man. It had its set piece design, its moment to moment gameplay, the scenes. It had the emotional lows and it had the epic highs. It had the ridiculous over the top moments like riding on wraiths and stuff. But to me, I thought Gears of War 2 was absolutely peak. I thought it was fantastic. Gears 3, not so much. It was a bit more of the same. Didn't really do anything new in Gears 3 at all, really. And it was a bit too much. In Gears 3, you got no room to breathe. You didn't get a minute of downtime. You didn't get a moment to really digest what was happening. Every moment to moment, it was like just bigger numbers, bigger things.
Yes.
And it got to the point where, okay, it gets exhausting after a while.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you. And that was a problem with that. For me, it carried on going, even with the open world template of 6, 5, I don't even know anymore. It just became like, all right, I cared about Kate at the start of it, and at the end of it, I didn't give a shit. I had to make a choice. Oh, well, yeah, you make a choice at the end of 6 on spoiler, and I didn't care. I don't even know what the choice is. I don't even remember. And yeah, so it's just... I don't know, but with Gears E-Day, they said they're gonna like take it back, make it more personal, make it more violent, and it's just like seeing that E-Day CGI trailer where it was just a random locust who was just going at it with a younger Dom and giving him a tough time
it made the locust seem like such a threat.
That's what I wanted.
Comparatively to what they have been in the gameplay, where it's like, oh, just another victim. You know, it's like this one locust, not some major sort of enemy, was just chucking him around like he was a ragdoll and giving him a really hard time. It's like, okay, because that's how it should be.
That's exactly how it should be.
Like, okay, so so then it's sort of thematically what it's saying to you is there's real threats in this one. Like, if this is how much of a threat the normal locusts are, then you are going to be in a state of hopelessness and despair and desperation in E-Day, because you're not all overpowered and just able to. Everything was a minor inconvenience by Gears 3. Like, it didn't matter what they threw at you, man. Everything was just a minor inconvenience. Like,
felt like
that's how I felt.
It felt like a Fast and Furious movie. Just taking bullets. It's like just sponging bullets. It's like there's no impact on things. CF Swim, I see in the chat you're just spamming the chat, and I just see you just going. I don't mind the console warring, but if I can't read other people's messages, I feel like I don't know what the conversation is, because I don't want to just read super chats. I want to see what everyone else is saying. I'm not having a go at you, please. I'm not Reforge Gaming. I'm just saying, when I say relax, I don't mean condescending way. Please relax. I just mean like you just chill a little bit so I can see what's going on. So please don't take it to heart. There. Yeah, so I don't know, man. There's so many good games coming out from Xbox. That's the thing. It's crazy that they've got multiplayer, but at the same time,
I can't stay. It's actually doing my head in now. How many games are coming out? There's no way. No one has time for all these games, bro. Like, they want to calm it down a little bit. Like, it's every week there's something else dropping on Game Pass.
Yeah, right. It's so this is the thing, that this is the year where Xbox Game Pass finally looks really potent, man. Really potent. I'm not a fan of Avowed. Don't really care for it too much, but people are loving it.
I don't.
Yeah. But it looks nice.
I don't. Yeah. It's not nowhere near like people saying 8, 9, 10 out of 10. You people are crazy. Like, you people are nuts. Like, Avowed is, look. When I say Avowed is mid, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's mid. It is mid. Avowed is a sort of RPG I would recommend to someone who is new to RPG games.
Okay.
Oh, maybe play Avowed, because it's a good entry level. It's quite simple, but it's graphically nice. I think it eases someone into what an RPG game is, but it doesn't do anything to sort of progress the genre. It doesn't break any bound. It has very repetitive enemy types, very repetitive engagement. Its story is, you know, for an RPG, it's not. It doesn't. No one will talk about Avowed in 2 years' time, bro. No one's gonna remember. Like, people still speak about Skyrim now, right? No one's speaking about Avowed, right?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be remembered. It doesn't have. It won't leave a legacy. But I think it's a game which is competent. And I think it okay is the only word I could. It's okay.
That's what it looks like.
It It looks nice. I mean, it looks nice, but the problem is, it looking nice stops getting like impacting you after an hour of playing it because you're used to it. So then it looking nice doesn't matter anymore, you know. And it's like, okay, well, what else do you have though? And it's like, at first I was really impressed. You know, you jump under the water and it's like, oh shit, it's like a whole other world under here. This is cool. But then when I realized there's really nothing going on under there, like, it's like, oh, well, this is pointless. It's an okay RPG, but people saying it's amazing. You guys are fangirling over it because of Xbox. People call me a grifter, guys, right? But I won't come out and say I think something's good just because it's on Xbox.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I will praise a game on PlayStation if I think it's great, and I'll say like Avowed. I was like, you know, because I've gained some friends who were like pro Xbox, and when I was like Avowed's a bit mid, they was like, what? What do you mean it's mid? I was like, it's mid. It's mid. Come on, man. There's RPGs from 15 years ago that were so much more advanced than Avowed is. It's a backstep in many ways compared to older RPGs. I mean, this is, you know, Kingdoms of Amulet was better than that. You know, it was okay. It was all right. I think for Obsidian though, it's a massive step back from what I mean. This ain't no New Vegas, bruv.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, that setting doesn't really appeal to me anyway. But I think there was a argument the Fonz, Cole, and Zorko were having, and Fonz was saying the exact same thing you were saying about what this is not on Obsidian's, you know, best work compared to, you know, what they did with Vegas. A lot of people, it's like a condensed. I've seen that a lot, but I will say a lot of people like Shroud, other people in the mainstream have actually really enjoyed Avowed. And I think that some people liked that bite-sized RPG, like kind of condensed RPG, which is fair enough. But I can see where you're coming from, and I'm not being a big RPG head.
Not everyone really wants a really complicated RPG. That's why I said it. I think it's a great RPG to look. It's not in any way, shape, or form is about a bad game.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you want out of an RPG, though. I think it's down to preference. If you, like I said, if you're new to RPGs, I think Avowed would be. I mean, I've put my son onto it. He was talking to me wanting to get into RPG games. He's only 13, and I was like, play Avowed. Avowed will be a good indicator to see if you like the genre or not. Because if you play Avowed and you don't really get into it, then you're not going to like any of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Cullen Prime says, why does it have to be their best work? Well, you always strive to
well, yeah, I mean,
attain your heights, but it doesn't have to be like the big one. They're doing quite a lot.
We're talking about RPG, which is a major release, which has been sort of people have known about for years and years. Why wouldn't you want to be putting out your best work? If you're not putting out your best work, then what are we doing here, man? Like, how come? What sort of argument is that? Of course, it should be their best work. Like.
I agree with the Martian in chat though. He says, I wish the original Avowed trailer as a game. I wish for the original. That actually kind of was the darker vibe was kind of gelling with me.
Yeah, I watched it after I'd watched it afterwards. When I was live yesterday, people in my chat was telling me to check it out, and I checked it out. And yeah, it did look considerably more interesting.
I thought it did. It's very colourful than a current game, but the old ones seemed like darker, almost like Diablo-esque kind of stuff. And I was like,
I wonder why they changed. I wonder what happened to make them decide to change direction the way they did.
Maybe because sometimes they I don't know if this is the case with them, but a lot of the times the studios actually kind of delegate the CGI trailers to a third party kind of production house, and they produce the CGI trailer, or maybe they did it in house, but really just kind of give an idea of the first person thing, but not really hone in on what the actual final product was. Sometimes it could be subject to change quite a bit. So I don't know what the reason is, but yeah, I would have been personally. For me, I'll be more interested in that, depending on the game. But a lot of people in chat like it, and I don't blame that. A lot of people are quite strongly. I don't think they're capping here. I think a lot of people. This is one of those games like Redfall. When anyone says you like Redfall, I'm like, all right, you need to be sectioned in the mental hospital if you like Redfall, bro.
I think no one would like it. That's what I'm saying. When I say it depends on what you want from an RPG. It is a very streamlined, easy to pick up and play RPG. And if you want just a game just to not really have to think too much about it, then Avowed is perfectly serviceable.
Yeah. Another topic. So sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying it depends on how deep you want your RPG to be, but
yeah. So because some purists want the bells and whistles, and I think It'll be interesting to see where I feel like this is going to be similar to Outer Worlds 2, which is going to be similar to Outer Worlds 1, which is also a bit of a condensed RPG, but that looks a lot more interesting to me because it's sci-fi and space, and that's where I don't mind a condensed RPG because I don't have that much time. Like Claire's Obscure's Expedition 33 is coming out. That game looks so good that I'm wondering, I'm just hoping that I just somehow, my backlog is ridiculous, but
Bro, I'm enjoying shorter games, man. I'm liking my games a bit shorter.
Please make them shorter. I need
bro,
them.
These games are like hundreds and hundreds of hours, bro. I'm nearly 40 years old, man. If you don't have time to play, fucking hell, bro. These games, like the fact that I can finish like like Halo 3 in like a few hours is great. Like that's what let's put it on, have a blast, finish the campaign, move on to the next one. At Wolfenstein New Order, I finished in like 5 hours. It was great.
Yeah, man, not everyone has time, so how do you expect people to play such big games? And I understand that there's this greatness. I shouldn't be complaining about so many good games, but Claire Obscure's Expedition 33 just looks phenomenal to me, and that's a game where I just really want to play that. I played Metaphor Refantasia, I bought it, and I didn't vibe with the world and the characters that much. The mechanics were sick, but then I looked at the developer direct and I just saw that, and I'm like, okay, this one appeals to me a lot more. And I'm playing Lost Odyssey at the same time, and I'm like, it depends. There's so much, and that's on Game Pass as well, which is ridiculous. So it's just so much value and so much diversity on that service, and just Xbox generally is crazy.
Games for everyone, man. No matter what you like, it's like Game Pass has it for.
Yeah, and my Game Pass has so much now. You've got Tony Hawk's, you've got RPGs with Avowed, then you've got freaking JRPG type Claire's Expedition 33, then you've got Doom coming out, and then you're going to get quite a lot of RPGs with them. Oh yeah, I need to talk about that actually. I didn't talk about Fable. Fable got delayed, and I wasn't here to talk about it last week, but that surprised me not at all. Because I've been saying it for ages. I feel like this is going to get delayed. It's going to get delayed.
I'm sure you were surprised that Fable got a delay. I was expecting a delay. I wasn't expecting Fable to be coming out at any time. So you've not seen anything. Like, that's usually a telltale sign. When you don't ever really see much, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if it's meant to be coming, where is it? You know what I mean? Because they have to start the marketing and the hype, right? They have to start the previews and releasing new footage of it to really build up anticipation. That wasn't happening with Fable.
Yeah. No. This one, I mean, bruh, Fable's going to be amazing. I one of those games I can vouch for. I'm scared to put jinx it, but at the same time, Fable's just. It has to be amazing. If you played the first, particularly the first two games, and you lived through all the hype, all the Peter Molyneux's bullshit, and just like
Well, I didn't live through that. I'm on the first one now, but I wasn't around. I wasn't in it for. I never had heard all the Peter Molyneux thing. I wasn't on Xbox around at that time, so all that went right over my head.
Oh man, yeah, it was a thing. It was an experience, because if you had played Black and White, which was a really good game on PC with this God mode kind of simulator, where it was just a really good game. He was running high on the fumes of that games and its critical reception, and then everyone saw him as this massive visionary, and then he got high on his own supply, and so then he promised the Earth with Fable, and he had this idea of a massively pervasive, persistent world where your character, if you chop down a tree very famously, that tree would just, like, as you grow up in that world, because you start off as a kid and then you grow up, then that world would reflect the tree. That mechanic got slashed. Then the character is supposed to reflect the how you treat other people, and then it ultimately ended up becoming a good and bad mechanic, and it just became that. But behind
a very black and white mechanic as well.
Yeah, that was black and white. Yeah, that was just, it carried over. That was the DNA of it, carried over. But despite that, behind it, the Fable games. I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what you've got a massive backlog. You're worse than me. But if it's mad. I just don't have time. This is the thing. The content creation with real life. And just the games is too much, but I'm just intrigued to see what you think about Fable 1 and 2, because even despite all its issues and the false promises and whatnot, Fable 1 and 2 just they were these mystical, incredibly immersive worlds with so much character, like a unique character with that British humor. It was just, it was different. It just soaked you into its world, even though one of the biggest complaints I had about the game was that it was very constrained in its game design. It was just like, I remember when the bull shots came out, you'd have the main character and you had a massive like a valley or forest of like a mountain behind him, and I was like, oh my god, imagine going down that mountain and encountering different enemies. And obviously what actually ended up was these narrow like little play sections where you just like a track.
Yeah, very narrow.
Yeah, and then that
it just funneled down these really narrow like paths all the time.
Yeah,
and it's very linear.
It was it was, especially for an RPG. It was just, and now with the guys from Playground Games with their incredible Forza Tech engine, from what I saw from the gameplay that they revealed some new gameplay. It looks like it's freeform. I may be wrong here, but it's just been deceptive in it. But it looks like Witcher, riding on the horse there. It's huge fields. If someone kicks a chicken, and it just looks amazing. It's just like, oh man, this could be the game that I've been waiting for. And thematically, it looks really much more mature with its humor. And I'm like, okay, I'm so
lower your expectations, guys.
I know, but I can't.
You're getting too excited, bro.
It's just like GTA 6. It's just like GTA 6. I'm getting really excited for Fable, man, and I'm just like, and I'm thinking, how can it let me down? Well done, guys. Just work yourself up and then be disappointed. And I don't want that to happen. But I think Fable will be the best Fable game we've ever got. And I'm a prick for saying that. And I believe it. And I think delay it. I don't care. Just give me that Fable game.
I'm always a fan of delaying games, bro. I think it can never be a bad thing, delaying the game. Like, it'll give it time to cook. You know what I mean? Like, be patient. Like, I would rather play a game and it be the best version it could possibly be rather than a Cyberpunk situation. Do you know what I mean?
I think it depends on the game, yeah. Because some games can be quite ambitious and they can have delays, but some games, like, you have to come out at the right time to capture the mood of an audience. And I know that's weird. I'm trying to think of an example of a game that got, I think, Duke Nukem Forever, because that got delayed forever and then ends up being shit anyway. Some games, like, if you delay them too much and they come out, they'll be like, but if you came out earlier,
well, the momentum can certainly go against you. You know, if you build it up too much and then keep delaying it, the momentum dies, and then when you finally release it, it can feel like a very long way up for a short ride down.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm sort of with Fable, I've no emotional attachment to it because I'm only halfway through the first one, so. For me, it's like I'm quite glad it got delayed because I haven't caught up yet. Yeah, and it's like, well, I know it's going to serve as a reboot, but I would rather be caught up. Do you know what I mean? And play what's on offer before I get to there. Plus, my backlog is so insane that the idea of not having a giant RPG to play doesn't exactly fill me with dread. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's where I'm at with Fable as well. I'm like, there's so many RPGs already, and you've got this much, and I've got GTA. Just delay that. And I don't think if GTA 6 does come out this year, don't think that other games are also safe from not being delayed. Everything will be delayed. Shout out to Mrs. Bruff. She's going to sleep, by the way, so thank you for being there, for being a member. Shout out to her and your support. Another thing I will very quickly touch upon, sorry, I'm just conscious of time, I don't want to take your time up, but Battlefield's the new Battlefield, people have got access to the closed alpha, and the basically, I've seen some of the footage. I don't know if you have. Some bits look good. Some bits look like Battlefield 3.
I haven't even seen it, guys, because I've never really played a Battlefield game. I've never really played it. I think the only Battlefield game I played was Battlefield 1. Yeah, was it Battlefield 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played Battlefield 1 for a bit and I enjoyed it, but that's it. So I'm not really I don't really have any right to say what it looks like because I'm not in that sort of community of people that play it all the time.
I will pull up some footage. Oh, it might actually get me in trouble here. But actually, no, it might flag up actually. But if you can look on Twitter and stuff, you'll see it. Battlefield. So some of the things they showed off were the destruction, which looked like a lot like Battlefield 3, which is good, and which was fine. They had this mechanic where someone had gone down, you grab them, a teammate, and just pull them while they're on the floor, and then you can revive them, which is, I was hoping they would do that in the older games, and it's really good to see.
But comfortable environments is still something that I feel gaming needs to try and step up and do more of, because it's not something which you think now in 2025 that we'd be there, and we're not there yet. Like, you know, you want to see sort of the environment reacting to war and reacting to what's happening, and it's still very static.
Absolutely.
And it has been, and it's like, come on, man, when are we going to get there? Do you know what I mean? Like,
this is my angst. This is my angst. I've said you've literally speaking my language, man. I've been saying this for ages. This is what this generation was supposed to be, man. We had these shitty CPUs last gen that were mobile grade. We were supposed to get all kinds of physics stuff. Where is it? Is it, like you said, it's very static game world. It sucks.
Yeah, you can't. Usually now, I'm surprised if something reacts in a way it's meant to. I'm like, oh wow, but it should be standard. Exactly. We should be applauding when we hit something on the table. If it goes off the table, there should be a thing that just happens. You know what I mean? Like, but
bro,
it's like Avowed. Avowed is very, very static, and that, you know, it's very static as Avowed. That's one of the first things I noticed. And it's little things about Avowed, like how there's so many random people just sweeping, and they'll just be sweeping the same spot for the entire duration of the game. And it's like, why can't they have a routine? Why can't they go do something? I mean, why can't they? Even back in like Oblivion, they had their own individual routines, and they'd go to work, they'd do their thing. But in Avowed, man, you'll see the same old lady sweeping the floor for like 50 hours, and she never moves. It's that same thing. And there's so many bears in Avowed. There's random bears. It's like stuff like that, man. It's just like what make it quite weak for me. Avowed.
I understand exactly where you're coming from. It's some of the things that excite me about GTA 6, even though there may not be bad company levels of destruction. There's reported to have a lot more. The AI routines we saw with Red Dead Redemption 2, it felt like a living, breathing world because they had actual routines. You just follow them around, and I was doing that.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And yeah, I agree with you, man. There's so much of that tech. I thought we were going to get tech where, you know, get rip physics stuff like cloth.
Yeah,
like,
I was expecting this generation to be great, man, and it's just been a bit of a flop on all accounts.
Exactly.
So now our standards have dropped as gamers now, because it's all dropped so significantly that now we'll give stuff an 8 out of 10, which might have been like a 5 before, you know, because we're so accustomed to it not being any different.
I don't understand why people have this, and I get arguments all the time. There's some people that definitely come to mind when I talk about it. So like, gaming is fine, it's okay. I'm like, well, and then when I talk about these strides, like, oh, well, you enjoyed Sekiro. I'm like, you muppet, I enjoy games. Gamify anything, I'll enjoy games. But that just because I can enjoy something older doesn't mean that doesn't negate my desire for the medium to move forward. And we've all got a finite amount of time on this planet. We have this idea of games going somewhere else and like a new frontier. And if gaming isn't going to evolve there, why should I have to prescribe to your low standards and your static standards of static game worlds and static physics? Like, it's like I can enjoy games, but I can also want and desire, innately desire, the gaming worlds that we inhabit to evolve, and our experiences to evolve with them. And this idea, I think Colin Moriarty says that he's happy. This is the ceiling where gaming is going to be, and he's fine with it. And I'm like, this is the complete antithesis of what I want for gaming, because this absolutely can be a lot more than your sad dad third person over the shoulder games or whatever the game.
Yeah, of course it can, man.
Come on, man. There's got to be more than that. There absolutely can be more. The question is, what can it be?
This can't be the peak. It can't be.
No, it can't be. It can't be. But it is what it is. Final topic. On the day, I don't know how much you have to say about this, but this is more. Well, it's not really a PC topic, but it's a big one. AMD surprised everyone. So Nvidia came out with their 50 series cards. I was salivating at the thought of it because the 5090 was going to be this absolute beast of a monster. And then over time, it's turned out that Nvidia actually have shat the bed. The whole 50 series, I think, in Europe is having a massive product recall because this thing is setting on fire, which is ridiculous. And AMD, for the longest time, Nvidia has dominated the space, and this is the beauty of competition. Finally, in the hardware space, where AMD have really come out tops with their 9070 series. And that's been the talk of the town for a lot of people, even console gamers actually. But the the Nvidia 9070 RX is coming at £524. Sorry, 9070 XT is coming at £569. And no, I've got the prices wrong here. No, I've deleted the digits. I don't know where that I've got that. Okay, well basically the 5070 is more expensive than the 9070 XT, and that is cheaper, and it's not relying on fake frames and AI upscaling to sell you this shit. It's doing this with raw GPU power. And while it's typically ray tracing has been the strength of Nvidia, and AMD are catching up, and their part tracing may not be there, but it's getting better, and so it has surprised everyone. And now the people are talking about, you know, AMD's the rise of AMD. Now I'm sitting here been waiting for a 5090. Everyone has told me just get a 4090. 4090 I can't even find, or if I do find, it's like 2-3 grand. Like I'm like, why is this still so expensive? I don't know. I might actually get a 9070. I don't know if it's a good one. I need to figure it out. But the AMD 9070 cards have already gone up an extra $233 above MSRP, says Cullen Prime. What? Really? Because apparently they're still in stock here in the UK. But I don't know. Abdel says, I remember Gaz said at the time of Uncharted 4, like, how long is this going to stay fun and interesting? Yeah, Abdel, I said that in Uncharted 4 last gen, actually. I wrote an article on it. Get the 9070 XT in person, not online, says Oh No It's Alex. Shout out to Oh No It's Alex. The 9070 XT is, well, he's got his blessings, so then I'm fine. 9070 XT is the way to go. Everyone is saying 9070 for the win, so that's a big move. So if you ever end up figuring out how Discord works and then going on to PC, then you
look, my plan is to buy part. Look, this is all going to go terribly wrong.
Yeah.
But my plan is to get all the parts I need for my PC, because I've never had a PC, right? And then I'm going to build it live on the channel.
Oh,
this is all going to go terribly wrong, and I'm just going to waste a lot of money and break it. But still, it'll be a fun live stream.
That would be amazing, man.
So my plan is just to, I don't know what parts I'm getting yet, but I might just start with the GPU and then build around that.
No, well, I guess you could do that. You want to start with a motherboard, surely, so you can slot your GPU into something.
Well, because I'll be buying all the parts before I do anything, and then I'm just gonna have one big. So once I've got every part I need, then I'm just gonna build the thing like live.
That'd be sick.
Then the chat can sort of guide me through the process of building it.
That'd be good.
That could be quite fun. It could be quite fun content and quite. I mean, bro, I'm going to break it. There's no two ways about it. Because Mrs. Brob was urging me not to do this. She was like, "Don't just buy a pre-made one. Don't do it." And I was like, "No, it'll be fun. No, it'll be fun." And especially when I have to like put the CPU in, and I don't know.
The CPU is the surgery.
I'm salty and heavy-handed, bro. This is all going to go so bad. Like,
oh man, okay. Even I would be nervous to do this on camera. If people saw how clumsy I am with people have seen me spill water barely on my PC. I'm the most clumsiest person you know. So building PCs, it's just like I have Parkinson's when I'm trying to glue the freaking CPU.
Man,
so
it's gonna be so bad. But I just think if the moment of trying to turn it on, if it comes on, will be such a triumph.
Oh man, bro, that's an amazing moment. It's an amazing moment.
Bro, I'm not good with tech, as you well know. right? I'm not good. I'm a dinosaur. I'm like that old man that the kids have to teach how to use an app. I don't know what I'm doing. I barely know how to use the phone. This is why even like my YouTube and stuff, I don't know. It's Candice that handles the uploads and does the descriptions. No, I don't know what the hell any of that. I don't even know how to use the studio properly, right? So how I'm going to do this thing, I don't know. But it'll be a lot of fun when I find it. So it's just a matter of figuring out what parts I want. Because I've been in two minds about it. What one camp is just get a low to mid-range PC, right? Because I don't need anything that's Cybernet. I don't need it to sort of become Terminator one day. I'm not a hardcore gamer, right? But then there's the other side of me which thinks, well, hang on a second, bruv. You're nearly 40 years old. You've never had a PC. Though you might not need it to be OP, maybe I want it to be OP. You know what I mean? Maybe I want all the frames, you know? Maybe when it says options, I just want all of them, you know? So there's a part of me which says, fuck it, just get like the best PC you can possibly get because you're nearly 40 and you've never had one, you deserve a good one. Do you know what I mean?
I might, trust me, take my advice for it. And it's not just me because I want to see you see the shiny thing. It always makes sense go for the Terminator build. Just go for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I want to be able to like have conversations with this thing, and it'd be like, So I'm probably just going to go for as OP of a build I can possibly manage.
Do it, man.
Just because I want to, not because I need it. Sometimes you have to give yourself what you want, Gaz, not what you need. You know what I mean?
But PC, it pays off. Trust me, it'll future-proof it, and it will pay off, and you'll end up doing it for. Using it for all sorts of content creation, all of that. It'll make it. Trust me, it's a smart play.
Look, guys, do you know how long I've wanted to be able to go? Peasants, you know. Yeah. You know, I've sort of got arguing over 30 FPS these guys while I'm there with 300 FPS. You know, sipping my, bro. So it's going to happen this year. So I just need to figure out exactly what parts I need.
That's wicked, man. That's wicked. I'm glad. I hope it does, man. I'll be watching that content for sure and praying that it goes well, man. But, bruv, we have been going on for over 2 hours, man. It has been. The time has flown. And because it's Ramadan, my energy level's just lacking. But my God, I have had such a good time talking to you, man. It's just been effortless. It's just been so nice. It's so similar in many ways. What we think. I'm so grateful that you came, even when you figured out Discord. I hope you had a good time on here as well.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's fun, man. Yeah, anytime.
Oh, man, thank you so much. Before we go out, tell the people where they can find you and who you are.
What do you mean where they can find me?
What's your address? What's your mobile number?
My address? Right, okay. No, I mean, just John, if you're not, Sir Bruvian, find me on YouTube, Twitter, Sir Bruvian. I'm not really big on plugs, man. I don't know.
The camera's pointing squarely at you right now. The scene literally has you on there. I don't know if you can see YouTube. But...
Well, look, disclaimer, right? No one should take me seriously or even probably watch me because I don't know what I'm talking about. But if you do want to see a fat idiot talk about stuff he really has no right to talk about, then you can find me on Sir Bruvian on YouTube. Search me. It's not great content, but it's there. There you go. I was out for fun.
It's being humble there, chat. Thank you so much, everyone in here. Smash the like button. And yeah, no, honestly, it's been a great chat. Thank you for bearing with me. You might notice my energy levels a little bit low because of Ramadan.
Oh no, man, don't worry. My angel are always like that, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. But please smash that like button. The timestamps will be up, and I will be uploading this on Spotify and other places. And I hope you enjoy the show, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Take care and peace.